evening, radio fans, and welcome back to another episode of Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite. I'm your host, Bobby Tamburo, and joining me as always is the Sigmund Freud anecdotal wet dream, the star of the program, Eastside Dave McDonald himself.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for that confusing introduction. I'm not sure what it means. The what? The Sigmund Freud wet dream?
Anecdotal wet dream. Like if you could have been a case study for Freud, he could have validated a significant number of his theories.
Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you? I'm still not sure exactly what you're talking about, but it feels insulting. So I'm going to say, how dare you? But I am going to say how much I love all of the dogsies out there, all of the Eastside Davidians, all of the Davey Mac fans, and all of the fans supporting us. I've gotten a few people saying, Dave, I've noticed you're still in your apartment. You're not kicked out yet. I just respond, yet. Yet is the operative word. I don't want to always say, hey, I need at least, a couple $1,000, but it's the truth. Because, of course, there's the rent and there's this, there's that. I don't know. Got behind on the bills. Oh, well, fuck it. But we are here, and as long as we're here, we're going to be rocking and rolling. We're going to be taking the, if you're wondering, Davey Mac Sports Program will be off on, the 15th? That's Father's Day, Sunday, 15th, Friday, and then we all have to work on Monday.
Yep. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So we're all busy on Monday, and then we are doing, Roy and I are fathers. Robert is only a daddy to his bong, but that's okay. He treats that thing very well. He cradles it. He often sings it to sleep. And the point being, we want to thank you for all the support, including of the new show, Modern Day Man with Aaron Berg and Eastside Dave McDonald, Robert Tamburo as producer, and the show's gotten off to a hot start. What people don't realize is radio shows, very similar to sports. It takes, I would say, a couple months minimum to get the chemistry, to get people's vibes, to know what people, what's going to set them off, what they like, this and that, what their wheelhouse is. I have to say, 3 weeks in, we have the chemistry of a show 6 months in. And I'm telling you, as someone who has been in radio his whole life and has joined shows like the, Ron and Fez show, or like the Morning Rat Race on 95.9 with Carl, I'm a big fucking asshole in the closet gay man. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I lie to people and pretend that I'm Dean Martin heterosexual guy when I'm really not Kraft. And when I had to join that show, and then join 90.5 The Night, which it was a show I did in 2012 through 2014.
That was like Christian Laettner giving his resume. I played on the Dream Team. Then there was the 80s Wolves.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had all these different little things going on. And what I can say is the show, Modern Day Man, the chemistry, unbelievable at the start. I mean, for the start, it's quite good. So make sure you're subscribing on YouTube at Modern Day Man Show. At Modern Day Man Show. There was already a Modern Day Man, apparently. So we got to do it at Modern Day Man Show on YouTube. And I believe Modern Day Man Show on Instagram.
I believe so. And on Patreon.
So make sure you are checking all that. I post clips on all my social medias at Eastside Dave. And I even made a Modern Day Man playlist that has all of our clips and the 2 episodes. By the way, I just took them from the Modern Day Man channel. May put them on my playlist. So if you want a whole little Modern Day Man playlist, go check out Eastside Dave TV on YouTube as well. Oh, and the audio-only podcasts are now available. Spotify, iTunes, and anything else?
iHeartRadio.
And iHeartRadio. Look at that. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. So if you want the podcast, get the podcast. I do advise watching the video on YouTube. We're doing some fun things visually. They changed my face into Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
What I was upset at first is, someone says, hey, you kind of look like Dave Portnoy. I showed it to someone. I go, that is fucking Dave Portnoy, you asshole. Robert put CG Portnoy over my fucking head. And the guy's like, oh, I thought that was you. You and Portnoy look alike. I go, we don't look alike. You're still looking at the CG Portnoy over my face, asshole.
My mother doesn't know what Portnoy looks like, so I showed her the video under the guise of this makes the Pixar animators fucking blush, and she was like, "Did Dave get work done?" She had no idea that it was just a face swap.
The CG, I guess, was so good that people were genuinely confused. I mean, I feel like I'm at least 7 to 9% more handsome than Dave Portnoy. I'm not calling myself Tom Cruise or what was that wincing face?
I think it depends on what people prefer. Because yes, you're skinnier, you have the better features.
I'm 6'1", and that is fucking 6'2", and that's a fucking legit. Portnoy stands on his tippy toes when he takes pictures because he's trying to hide the fact that he's 5'5".
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with being short, and I was giving you compliments, but the trade-off is the red facial hair. Some people just aren't into the ginger look, Dave.
I mean, Portnoy kind of has it. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Some people aren't into the ginger look. How dare you?
How dare I?
How dare you?
Remember when you were making comments about 5'5" kings? Buddy, I viewed you first blood. I know, but I'm also that height.
See how goddamn fucking... Do you see how narcissistic you are?
Yes,
someone's attacking another person and you fucking make it about you.
Well, my biggest fear is being a hypocrite. So I didn't want to attack Portnoy for his shortness when I also.
Do you know how fucking comedy radio works? If we're attacking Dave Portnoy, we're not now all of a sudden, I made a joke about a 5'5" guy. You don't have to fucking defend 5'5" people just because you are one. Come on, man.
I don't think you get the strife, Dave. You and your 6'1" point of privilege up there on your high horse, just looking down on short people like us. You don't know the strife, my man.
Yeah, but I mean, it had nothing to do with you.
You
could have fucking
You're
lied
absolutely
to these people.
right. I fucked up. I apologize.
None of these people know how tall you are. You could lie to them right now and say you're 6'5". They're all going to believe you. I could pretend like you're a big bear of a man. I could pretend like you're goddamn King Kong Bundy. Or with that, if you take off the hat, we could do a little one-man gang type of look with you. Mm-hmm. You'd start tattooing, your fucking arms and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got like a one-man gang type of vibe for me.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think we're back on the right page.
Oh, okay.
You AIing Portnoy was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. And here's the funny thing. Barstool, I've applied. I've sent the Davey Max Sports Program to Barstool multiple times. I hope, this is my greatest wish, I hope Dave Portnoy finds our video, gets mad at it, and then it's like, I know this douchebag. This douchebag actually has applied to Barstool multiple times. So like he's going to, yes, I have.
Yeah.
Just because I think right now you're acting like an incredible, tiny, small-minded douchebag, Dave Portnoy, doesn't mean DMS people still won't go to Barstool. We'll go to Barstool tomorrow. You're acting like a douchebag right now.
Because he's being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Which is all I was trying to avoid being. I don't want to be like Dave Portnoy. I want to be like Davey Max.
But Portnoy is a guy. And again, Dave Portnoy, we'd love Davey Max Sports Program to be on Barstool. In fact, this is, Robert, please record this, send it to Portnoy immediately. This is our demo. Because the bottom line is, no show has ever not only not groveled, but actually told you to kind of go fuck yourself before they're even employed by you. You think we wouldn't do great at Barstool? We would make the meter like this. We'd shut all those other pussy ass shows down. And that guy Kirk, who was fucking yelling at Portnoy, I thought it was distasteful for Portnoy to be yelling at Kirk, but also that guy Kirk is annoying as shit. Holy fuck. He thinks he's another Colin Cowherd nerd. I love these fucking sportscasters who talk like that and they have no self-awareness. I mean, that guy Kirk is like, hey, Dave, what are we not allowed to do comedy anymore? You know who he reminded me of? Carl, the closeted gay man, but he pretends that he's straight Kraft, the morning guy from 95.9, the rat.
How much would it piss you off if you found out that that was what Carl Kraft was moonlighting as? After the years of just pulling teeth trying to talk sports for him, you found out he now works for Portnoy and Barstool.
Oh, that would be great. Oh, that's the guy. He just one fucking break. Someone with such little talent. And when you work in radio, you go, oh my God. Like the bane of my existence is I'm probably more talented than 98% of people who have, big time jobs. And whatever. I don't want to go into a dark thing here, but I want to get it all out. I need to get it all out. Every single episode, I need to get out that Carl Kraft is a piece of fucking shit. He is a liar. He is abusive to his employees, like me, when he started screaming at me for no reason and then ran out of the studio like a girl. And you can't sue me, Carl, because Rockin' Robin Lane witnessed the whole thing. But he freaked out, and then he runs out of the studio. I'd never seen something more pussy-ish in my entire life. Nothing more pathetic and pussy-ish in my life to yell at someone and then run out because he knew what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah. I can think of a few other situations like that. It is interesting, though, that you do kind of have this cyclical nature of like almost getting a launch, it's going great, and then the discovery coming back. Things start to go awry, you implode, you rebuild,
I don't implode. All right, that's a fucking misnomer.
The situation. No. The situation, and you are a casualty aboard the ship.
Here's what happens in my career. I do great things every single place I go, and it's registered, and the ratings improve, and everywhere it goes up. Ron and Fez, Sirius XM, 90.5 The Night, 95.9 The Rat, Compound Media. Every single place I went to, everything went up. Period. You can't argue with that because that's the truth. That's a fact. And yet every single destination I go, people go, oh yeah, he's great, but he's a little nuts. They think of creativity as craziness. Creativity doesn't mean crazy. It means someone who's ultra creative. A. B. Then after a while, because they try to brand the ultra creative guy, moi, as crazy, then they start taking you for granted. And that's everywhere I've ever been. And that's a lesson to young people. If you're watching this show, the second you do something good, make sure everyone in the company knows about it. Never be a team player. Only be out for yourself. I mean that. I'm not even kidding. Because I was a team player at Sirius XM, team player at 90.5 The Night, team player at Compound Media, team player at 95.9 The Rat. And you're awesome. You're great. You're wildly talented. You're creative. And every single time it's, oh, yeah, a couple of years goes by, 5 years go by. Let's just take Dave for granted. And then pretty soon we need to do layoffs. Bye, Dave. And it's like, you know what? One of these days I am getting a gun and I'm fucking shooting a whole.
Well, YouTube. He's talking about a book he's writing.
Water gun, Super Soaker.
In the book he's writing.
Super Soaker. In the book that I'm writing, I'm having a scene where there's going to be a fun time with people having a nice barbecue at the Jersey Shore. And I take out my Super Soaker like a guy like Carl Kraft. And I go, here you go, Carl. And I shoot him with the Super Soaker. He's like, oh, what is all of that? And I go, it's cum, your favorite. I know that you go to Asbury Park and go to the gay bar Georgie's for happy hour and you suck other men's dicks in the bathroom. Here's a Super Soaker of cum. All right, what's today's episode about?
Well, it feels bad to transition to this. I was going to ask who's been the one person who's never given up on you, always believed in you and supported you, and hoping you would say your mom.
My mommy, Beanie Mac. No, I think she's kind of given up, Robert. She's half given up. She's like, I can't anymore with this kid. But Beanie Mac, my mom, she's a wonderful lady, 84 years young, still gets around like a 59-year-old, spry,
Is she still winning?
Swims 3 miles a day in the pool.
Is she winning? Last time we checked in with Beanie, she was winning Senior Olympics.
You have to qualify for the Senior Olympics, and that took place in Florida. She had to go all the way down to Florida from New Jersey, Robert. Not the first time that's happened.
No, yeah. Typically, seniors do go from Jersey.
What a wild adventure. An old woman from New Jersey going to Florida.
Oh, David, it's just like little New Jersey.
But Beanie Mac, she competed in that Senior Olympics. She won. She won first place. I guess that's the gold. She does very well. She still swims. She's considering doing it again. I'm like, you did it the one time. Do you got to do it again?
Okay, Adrian, calm down.
Well, it's a lot of preparation. Then she's like, I got to swim, 10 miles today in the pool. And it's getting really tired and tiring. And I'm wondering if I, have enough, I might drown. I could drown, David. I might drown in the Atlantic Club. That's where I do my laps, David. The Atlantic Club, indoor pool. It was a little too warm for me. I told Johnny, I said, Johnny, he's the lifeguard, by the way. He's a wonderful guy. He's studying at Monmouth University. He's going to be a veterinarian. And I says to Johnny, Johnny, it's way too warm. I'm training for Senior Olympics. Can we get the pool down to 78 degrees? You know what Johnny does? Yes, Mrs. McDonald. That's why I love him. That's why I love Johnny, David. That's why Johnny's going in the will, David, and you are out. You're out, David.
I look forward to the fourth time your mom's swimming in the Olympics and she has to go up against the Russian. You go, what's wrong with you, Beanie? She goes, I'm scared, okay, David? What if I can't beat him?
Mother, you can beat anyone. I've learned through after school specials and black people movies that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it.
Well, maybe you should start putting your mind to stuff.
Well, I'm not a black
You and I
person.
both should start putting our minds to stuff because
I told you I got this from black movies. I think that a pasty Irishman like myself, it doesn't work. That magic doesn't work, I guess.
Well, today we're going to get some insight into what does work because we are looking at an episode where the lovely Beanie McDonald was sitting in studio for the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a real treat because this is the only time that we've gotten my mom in studio. I think she appeared on special delivery a couple times on speakerphone. I've played videos of my mom on Davey Mac Sports Program and Eastside Dave Show, but especially the DMSP. I just played the song of her doing the Bob Marley. She got a little ukulele. At the age of like 83, she decided to become a ukulele player out of the blue. And now she practices. She's got like like one of those stands that holds the music books. And so she jams her little songs there, but never in studio, I think, outside of the Ron and Fez show.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
I think what I found the most interesting listening to this audio is we see a lot of the foundation of Dave, like a lot of where your interests and passions kind of started and where they blossomed, and like a lot of the influence Beanie had on you. Like a lot of the same mechanisms that you had are prevalent in her, like her ability to just sing and just to be happy and bring joy and go with the yes and like you said, this is the first time she's been in studio.
Yeah,
she sounds like a seasoned guest that's just playing along because
my mother and I both will break out into show tunes around the house, and that's something that no other members of the family, even including the children, none of them do this. But I will just sometimes be just putting the dishes away, and I'll do there's no business like show business, I know. Anybody but feel it. Yes, I enjoy the show tunes, the singing. Yeah, it's weird. It's like I got my dad's like physical genes, but my mom's personality genes somehow, some sort of weird crisscross.
What I find entertaining is you both sing the same show tunes, but you're a tenor and she's a bass.
That's true. Well, some with some songs.
Certainly.
Yeah,
You both are very talented. Things like that, the spontaneity you see. I think before we go any further, we should let the audience listen to some of another McDonald. I would say probably my third favorite McDonald, Beanie Mac.
Behind, who are the other two?
Well, obviously, you're number one.
And?
Your brother who offers to send us fireworks.
Wally.
Nothing
for the stand man.
Stands tied with Beanie.
All right. Fair enough.
And we're actually going to hear a little bit about Wally in this audio. We're going to play.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I listened to this, and one of the things that I will just say that cracked me up is how calm she was. Now, before we listen to the audio, I mean, what I'm saying is I've gotten a lot. I get almost all of my personality, including the insane energy. And I'm telling you, these days at our house, because, I mean, a little bit because she is 84, it's just like, it's crazy talk. It's just me and her yelling and screaming about 50 different topics during 2 innings of Yankee baseball. That's what it's like. So I was really impressed with Ronnie B to get her focused and calm, because this is a rare glimpse into Beanie Mac, but I think you get some truthfulness out of her because
very much so. So let's take a listen and we'll be right back.
All right, it is the Ron and Fez show, hanging out with you today. We're bringing Dave's mom in. It's a big, I guess, what you consider a family get-together in the city of Manhattan. That's right. Planned for today. And here's Beanie. Hi, Beanie. How are you, darling?
Hi, Ron. How are you?
It's great to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you, too, and Fez.
I guess we haven't seen you since the wedding, huh?
That's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great party in August.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was great, and we have I brought some pictures.
Oh, great! That's fantastic on the radio. It's something really good. It's a visual medium, and to be able to sit around. Now, we'll catch people up.
The pictures aren't just for you. I hate to say it, but they're for Casey and Dave.
Oh, all right, nice. Glad you finally accepted them. Now, we haven't really talked about this for a while, but Dave, he was a stay-at-home boy for a long time.
Yes, he was.
And then
I loved it.
Yeah, you kept your baby.
That's it.
Kept your Ruby.
That's it,
kept your
baby.
Ruby home.
Absolutely.
And then Dave just did this flash thing. I guess he had a long-term girlfriend.
Yes.
But then out of nowhere, new girlfriend. He gets engaged.
Yes.
Before you even get the opportunity to meet her.
Yes.
And then he gets married on the radio. So that had to be somewhat of a shock to you, huh?
It certainly was.
Yeah.
It was quite a shock, actually. I don't want to get serious or anything.
No.
But I have to, because right before Dave told me he was getting married, a good friend died.
So two shocks back to back. Yeah. Two horrible things in a row.
Jerry, you. So it was within 2 days.
Right.
And so
two horrible things in 2 days.
Interesting.
Uppercut and a left jab.
Yeah.
I'm working with him on timing.
So I didn't eat or sleep for a week.
Uh-huh.
And this is really weird. So I thought, geez, maybe there's something really wrong with me, because I go to El Salvador, and the year before I went to El Salvador, I got sick.
Drug money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And more like women's mental health clinic. So
I hope it works out for you, because I think you can come back. I think you'll refine your sanity. So when this happened, you hadn't slept for a while.
Yeah. So anyway,
and then you got the horrible news. Dave was getting married.
Well, it wasn't horrible.
Not horrible, but shocking news.
Shocking
Yeah.
is a really good word. Shocking's perfect word.
Right.
So a week later, I still wasn't eating and sleeping, and doctor. So I'm telling you all this.
Sure, I understand.
This is like my shrink. So I
do
went
that for people.
Yeah,
Three-quarters of the show.
I'm the captain of my golf team, and
Congratulations,
thanks.
Captain.
And I was there, and I showed up, and I said. I called my doctor and I said, could I come? And the doctor said, yes, you must come if you want an appointment right now. So I came and I left my whole golf team And I felt bad about that. I left my golf game.
You actually walked off the course to talk to your shrink because Dave was getting married.
Yeah, I did, and I felt bad. Bad. I felt bad for the person I was supposed to play with.
They tore that letter C off.
I
felt real bad.
Yeah, and Fez, we're on satellite. You don't have to just say that. You can actually say the whole word. All right, so
it's easier.
It's easier for you.
Yeah.
You don't like the headphones?
No, I don't.
I'll take mine. I'll take mine off too.
You can't hear your voice too much.
They're nothing.
Oh, all right.
So when Dave did this, it was shocking at first. You had to see a psychiatrist.
Well, it wasn't a
I do
psychiatrist.
wrong?
It was my doctor, and I said to my doctor, "Geez, doctor, do you think I'm sick again?" Because I thought maybe I was sick all over. And he said, "No, you're not sick." And he gave me a little pill. He said, "You could take this for a week and see how you feel." So I took it for 4 days. I felt fine. I started sleeping and eating.
Yeah, I like Valium too. You know,
what is a Valium? But it was close.
What was it?
I don't even know. It was one of those little pills they give you.
Try to get some more, and I mean, you could.
I have a whole bunch of them still left over.
Well, what are we doing sitting here? We can always drive.
Actually, I was going to give them to my girlfriend, but
that's the great thing about pills. They are to be shared.
Yes.
So the pills helped you accept the fact that little Ruby had grown up and was going to marry a Jewish girl.
But David was going to get married.
Yeah.
Listen, I said to my husband, I said, "What? We should be happy.
Right.
What the heck? We should be happy that David found somebody he loves, and why are we like so nervous and stuff? We should be happy about it."
But I guess as a kid, he put you through a lot. You had... first of all, he was long to bloom. It took him a longer time than it does with most humans.
Yes.
And
he's still blooming.
Right. Because I know he's been in and out of a lot of colleges, and it just seemed like, what is he going to do? Especially when the rest of the boys were just... let's face it.
Everybody has
success.
Yeah. Everybody's got that Dave in their family.
Everybody has a little something going on.
Right.
And, to be honest with you, I loved his company, and so I kind of also I knew that for him, he for his sake, he needs to get out. But to be honest, I loved his company.
I was like,
you wanted to hold on to him, wanted to keep him.
I was like, Chris Elliott and get a life.
Right.
I was just gonna live in the basement.
But at a certain point, did you say to yourself, "Hey, I don't know whether this is good for him. He's still here."
I want to say that no, he decides what's good for him. Right. I decide what's good for me. My husband decides what's good for him, and I just have faith. I have faith that it'll all work out. I have faith. I have faith in a higher power, and I have faith in God, and I just say, well, it'll work out.
I love to talk to someone in the program too. It's best to talk about that higher power. Hey,
not bad. It is good.
I know I've seen you with a drink before, so I know you're program.
But there's a number of programs.
Yeah, right.
It's not only one program.
Oh yeah, the other one is about the kid that won't move out. So, but look at him now. He is doing well. He's with a beautiful woman. He's got a great apartment in Brooklyn. He's got a job. Income coming in.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thanks to you and Fez. Thank you again. Yeah. I always
we did that against our better, angels. But we said to ourselves, you know what? Forget it.
We did the right thing.
Yeah, we did the right thing. We had our own faith.
That's it. There you go.
My weird thing is I believe in a lower power. Isn't that odd? That's who my allegiance
I believe in that too.
Me and Ozzy.
I like the medium. I like the medium power.
The medium power. Right. But he's doing good now. You've got to say you're a little bit proud of him.
Oh, I'm very proud and very, very happy, and I'm proud of all my sons.
Yeah, well, those other two, they mock Dave, he tells us. They make fun of him.
Who does?
Walter. Walter J. Well, he sent one time a dog collar.
Yeah, he did.
I could get shocked.
So he could get shocked. He tries to set Dave up to be hurt on the show quite a bit.
You know what's interesting about that? Wally originally... I have a picture at home on the refrigerator when David he looked like a bobble doll with his head all twisted around.
Big giant head.
And Wally's holding him, and Wally has been sort of like his protector and has been crazy about him since he's a.
What about Wally's wife?
Wally's wife is awesome.
Yeah, but a little bit embarrassed of Dave on the radio. She told us.
Yeah, she
said that she doesn't think it's funny and it's hurtful.
Demeaning.
Yeah, demeaning is
Yeah.
I'm a idiot, I heard.
She what?
Nothing.
No. His wife. I was just with his wife actually yesterday down in Philly, getting my hand checked. And
So this is like the wives tour. You're going to be seeing
all the
Karen
wives.
and Casey
yeah, that's
today.
right. That's right.
Are you comfortable with Casey? Are you in?
I love Casey.
Yeah.
I actually love Casey, but this is one of the reasons that I love Casey. It's so she'll freak out. This is so weird.
Yeah.
I love her phone message.
Oh yeah. She got a funny phone message, does she?
No, it's not. It's,
See,
it's
you
so,
found
it's
something.
Just very, very. I love what it says.
Yeah.
I just love what it says. It would be almost like I would say something. Also, I totally 100% relate to what Casey does and what she's doing at her point in her life, because I was the exact same way.
Now, what is she doing now?
She's testing the waters and, perhaps going to Borders, and she's looking into opportunities. And but she told me something which was really true. That she wants to find something and that she is passionate about what she does. And so she's hesitant to jump into anything.
Well, one thing I know,
And that's just the way I
Yeah.
was. I graduated from college when I was 44.
I know that Casey loves this, us talking about her private life on the air. That's something she's very into. Now, but that's great because it's a scary thing, I guess, especially when you don't know. Here's your baby, your little Ruby, is going to spend the rest of his life with someone you haven't even...
Ruby? I didn't know that you're Ruby.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cute. Red hair,
Yeah.
Ruby, is that it?
Well, wasn't that you called him that as a youngster when you would dress him
when
up
you
as a
dressed
girl?
me up.
Pinky.
Yeah, it was Ruby. Don't change it.
But I did call him Pinky when he was little.
Now, why would you call him Pinky?
He was so cute and pink and tiny, like your Pinky.
Now I'm picking large.
Baby hamster.
He was adorable.
Yeah.
But anyway, now I'm very, very happy with where David is. And
Wow.
I'm just happy with all my kids, really. I think you just have faith that everything will work out.
You know,
There's a
that's
plan.
great. I wouldn't have high standards either with my kids. I would say, as long as they're breathing, they're doing okay. They're doing okay. Now, Dave, why you told us this story? One time you ran away when you were, and you didn't contact anybody. But we never heard it from your point of view, BB. That had to be pretty frightening.
It was
to have
very
this
frightening.
young boy run away from home like that
It
and
wasn't
disappear.
that young. He was
23.
23.
Oh, 23. That's not running
But
away.
you know,
I'd
he
already
did
lived
run away
outside my
once
house for 6
before, though
years.
David doesn't remember this.
No.
Oh, at 24 also?
No, he ran away when he was about 15 or 16.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't get very far. He got as far as Newark. He got on the train and he could only go to Newark. And Wally was in Hoboken while he went and got you.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He had
Now-
a bad report card.
Now, how do you not remember things that happen when you're 15 or 16?
I honestly have no memory of that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's really
that's
weird.
really happened. He got C's or D's or something.
Tons
And
of bad report cards. It always seems comes back to
let's be
bad
honest.
I don't know if he got
report
F's,
cards
but
with
the
you.
point of maybe
Yeah.
he got an F. But the point was he got a bad report card and he ran away and so like Daddy and I were shocked.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got him. So
You
when
were,
he-
you were shocked that he ran away or shocked that he had a bad
what's
report
up
card?
with that, right?
Yeah, because you were used to the bad report cards, I guess.
I just wasn't used to anybody running away.
Right. Why is it always
I didn't
your
know
thing
anybody-
to dash, to get out of there?
Well, Mr. Bennington.
I mean, it's called fight or flight. Why never fight? Why is it always
None of
flight?
my boys fight.
I never responded to the yelling.
Yeah.
And I don't have to say my parents, but,
They were
Mommy-
big yellers.
Well, no, I mean, Mommy, she...
No.
What would she do?
No.
What drove you away?
She's a wonderful person
But-
and very caring. Well, she could yell with the best of them. So
sure.
she would yell. She would yell.
But she was raising Beaker. It had to be so difficult.
She likes a film like Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. So you remember the bar scene,
Right.
okay? So let's just say that could be reenacted.
She would put the boots to you.
I don't know what I don't know that part of.
They beat a man to
Goodfellas.
his death and then
Beat a man
stabbed
to
him in the
death.
trunk
Okay,
with a
I'm a
knife.
little short of that.
So
I don't go that far.
yeah,
No.
But
I
so
never beat
you
anybody
felt
to
like Fez that when your parents yelled, it was
Yeah, I'd like to hide,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so Newark seemed to be a good idea. At the
No,
time.
you were
Good
heading
pick.
for New
Sure.
York.
Every youngster runs off to Newark when they get the
He
chance.
was
The big
heading for New
city,
York, and you had
Yeah.
to change trains.
and that's
in
where he
Newark.
got lost at 16.
No, they didn't have any more money to get to New York.
Oh.
You ran out of money.
That's another one of my shortcomings. The planning
Yeah.
isn't always so
Yeah.
spot on.
Well, you seem like you take off in a panic.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot easier. Don't
Now,
you
when he
think?
disappeared for 2 weeks that time and was
Yeah.
living in New York, that had to be frightening for you. You probably didn't sleep at all.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I didn't sleep much. I didn't eat much.
Yeah.
The good part of it was I did lose a little weight.
Oh, good.
That was the good
Well, I
news.
mean, it's frightening when you know someone's out there 23
what?
years old. I know at the
Yes.
time myself, my parents were worried because I had 2 kids in a house. But in this case, it's also frightening because you didn't know if he was eating or what he was doing.
I didn't know if he was alive or dead. That was
Yeah.
never mind with the eating.
Then, do you remember the terrible call when you found out he was alive?
No, but we did get some calls
Oh my
from.
God! She just drops the phone.
No, we got some
He's
calls
alive.
from people who spotted him in different places, which was
did
really
you?
weird.
Had you hired a private detective to
No.
look for him, or?
No, not really. And then, but we did have a friend who was a former state trooper who helped us a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But that actually didn't happen. What happened was, I think he charged some things, and
Right.
Daddy and Pat and then Pat saw the stuff, and I guess, I know what happened. The card people called us up and said, we have some unusual charges.
So
And
he
my
just ran up a
husband
lot of
said,
bills.
Oh, and then so you're buying like little. It was a little thing.
Combos.
But there were novelties.
So you got nowhere to live.
I wanted
You
a
buy
little Statue of Liberty thing.
That's what he was. He was hanging out with his little Statue of Liberty doll. But
you, I mean, I never get the credit. We're really worried. There's an extra $6.75 charged to your card.
but it was on 42nd Street, and everything was odd. And then, of course, it was the hotel on 43rd
St.
Street.
James.
Yeah.
And then was it the St. James? Mm-hmm. Well, it was a dump. But anyway.
$99 a night, you know.
Yeah, on Daddy's credit card. Oh, well.
Yeah,
So, but anyway, we got him back, and the rest is history.
it really is.
But that's when the client just
They
like
didn't take you another 6 years to get out.
okay.
That's right.
But just like
That's right.
an epic Wes Anderson film, you'll have to go through high points, low points, and then you get right back up.
Absolutely.
You know?
You have to test the waters. You know, I even thought to myself, because I did a lot of, not that type of thing, but I thought if maybe, because I grew up in the 50s, if I was a man, I might have tried some of those things that David tried.
Getting little
But see,
novelty
women
things
don't-
on Broadway.
Well, no, women wouldn't run away. It was too scary.
Well, not at 23. They'd be, adults by then.
Yeah. That's well, I figured as much, but I came back after that episode and went to college for another 4
Did the
years
grades
or so.
improve?
Oh, yeah, he graduated
yeah.
like 0.2 of a point from cum laude.
I graduated 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, at age 28.
Round it
That'd
up.
be great if you were getting out of medical school. Not getting your associate's degree.
At Monmouth University.
No, he got his.
No,
bachelor's.
look
He
at it.
got
Look
his
how
bachelor's.
he's parlayed that into this wonderful career.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I was going to give him his employee review today, but I don't want him to take off.
Oh, were you going to be doing employee reviews?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
boy.
Well, that's great.
Thank God we
But
have
you know,
lunch.
it's wonderful, and it's also just to talk about David, if you want me to. If you don't want me
Sure,
to,
I'd love to.
Okay. When David was in high school, he decided that he would not be like the rest of them. He was arguably the best athlete
Thank you,
of
Mr.
the four, and he
I didn't say
decided
it.
that he would not be. He would not do it. I think because his brothers all did it. So, David, what was the name? You were the editor of the what?
The Arista magazine.
He wouldn't compete against other kids.
He did in the beginning, and then
Flight.
he decided he wasn't going to go down. He just veered off. And I've read where the youngest sometimes are very, they rebel a lot and they don't want to do anything their brothers did, and that's what David did. But he wrote a wonderful poem, and I have the poem.
Oh, great. I'd love to hear it.
But he
Oh,
wrote
that's
it in
nice.
7th grade.
I'd love to hear
David,
it.
would you read it? Because
Should I read it?
Yeah, what's the name of this poem?
Stages of Life.
This is called The Stages of Life.
Okay.
I remember this poem.
That was a cool poem.
Yeah,
I adored it.
This
I
was
adored it.
freshman year of high school.
But honey, where
No,
did
because it says homeroom 7.
Oh, okay.
Not grade 7.
Okay.
All right.
So
sorry.
for a 7th grader, this would be good, but here he was a freshman in college.
High
school.
High school, or maybe even a sophomore. So I was probably 16, 17 when I wrote this. The stages of life. The stages of life are of many seasons, all scattered about in many days. One needs not ask for facts or reasons, just listen to their times and ways. First there comes a newborn dove. Every time and place must have one. When strangers look upon him with love, and in response he shines like the sun. Then comes the plowing toddle.
What?
Toddler.
No, it says toddle here.
All right, but you know it.
Then comes
You know what it is. You know what you wrote.
Then comes the plowing toddle.
Why is a toddler plowing?
I am some sort of farm thing.
You gotta just
go.
Okay,
Let,
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta just
Don't
let
get
art
into
flow
it.
over you.
I know,
Let art flow over you. That's what I do.
I'm just questioning my own
right.
writing, Mom.
All right.
With wondrous and exciting looks that still gets the normal coddle and plays with freedom from pens and books. I have no idea. Our next guy quickly speeds his gears. A mighty rebellious and mischievous lad. Wants to be received
Idiot.
by his peers. So he ignores his conscience and does bad. Now it's become a poem about ex-cons or
I have
something.
no idea. I stopped
No, it
listening a long time ago.
sounded a lot like you.
Dixie
Sound
Riddle
right.
Cup. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a cry for help.
Now we have our young fellow just out of his school. Year 4.
Mellow. Year 4.
To survive, he must show his intellectual bellow
Oh, God.
It's good. It's
and
good.
register his name in the big corporate war. Wow.
All right.
That's saying
Yeah.
something
All
there.
right.
No, that's what you're in now. Let's be serious.
That's it.
That's it?
No,
No, go
but he
ahead.
survives
Finish,
that stormy battle, and he weds his first love.
Well,
That-
Casey.
that didn't
Second love.
Second love.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But hotter love.
Okay, rhyming now. And he packs his things and gets on his saddle
Saddle.
for the road to creating his own dove. Back to the dove thing. I don't know. Then in the blink of an eye, our champion grows old. He rests and thinks of times gone by when he was young and bold. His days flew by
Jesus.
in a whim, his memories far and deep, and peace swells within as he enters his timeless sleep.
Oh, let me.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that is
I
great.
love that.
That
You've
is
been
good.
keeping that all these years. Let me just take a look.
Yeah, but
oh, look what it's typed on a thing of.
Oh, no.
No.
No!
Yeah, yeah, right.
Oh, boy.
I have the
Yeah.
He's
original.
going to run away.
Sure.
I have the original.
Oh, so you
Really,
made
though?
copies of these?
Really, the Library of Congress doesn't have that.
He got an A on it.
Yeah. Well, he should have. You
Oh,
turned
you-
something in high school, you get an A. No one could believe that someone would write a poem at that age.
Oh, you missed the other two S's after that A.
Wonderfully presented, Dave.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm very impressed.
Thank you, Mr. Noonan. Who, my sophomore English teacher.
Noonan.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he sounds
He
like
was a
it.
lovely man.
was
Wasn't he,
a-
Mother?
He was. He was the
we
only
all
Kid
miss
toucher.
him.
He's a kid
one who
toucher.
liked
That happened.
Yeah.
Davey Mack.
You gotta love Beanie Mac too.
You do. You do.
Gotta love her.
You particularly have to love her because if
This
we
is
learn,
this is a more so I'm telling you what I get at home is much more of the David, what channel are the Yankees on? What channel? I've gone to and I go, Mom, I literally created a Twitter, Instagram, and what's the other one? The one that no one goes on anymore. Instagram Threads. I said I created a Twitter, Instagram, and Threads account for you at today's Yankees game. Because of you, I post every single day what time the Yankees are on, what channel the Yankees are on, every single day. Yeah, well, I always forget to check that. So can you just tell me real quick, what time and channel are the Yankees on? And I'm like, oh my God. Because it happens almost on a daily thing.
I would be more on board with you if we didn't just listen to the absolute trials and tribulations you put this poor woman through, Dave. Like, truly, the prodigal son, Eastside Dave McDonald, returns time and time again, we learned.
Well, first of all, she is not talking. She's putting on a little bit of an act, a little bit, and I respect it. She's going with the bit. She is.
Okay.
She's pulling Eastside Dave, but what she's doing is she's pulling Eastside Dave, where she is completely all in on herself as the good mother in front of Ron Bennington. That's what's
Absolutely.
happening here.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that was going to be my first overall question, actually, was how much of what we hear from Beanie is the truth and how much is played up to
No,
be.
it's all the truth. She is telling all the truth. I mean, she doesn't remember everything perfectly. There's a lot of things that she will just deny. We've discussed it before. When I was 11 years old, I had to, with a really, really big, powerful, too big and too powerful of a lawnmower for a little scrawny 11-year-old to handle, I had to handle it, and I had to mow our humongous lawn and the side and everything in Spring Lake. Because even though I had a 15-year-old brother whose job that should have been, he was running cross country and track. And I swear to God, my parents said, Mark, that's Mark. He's one of the all-time great cross country people in the state of New Jersey. And she said, Mark's legs, we have to save Mark's legs for the running.
Yeah.
So he can't be mowing the lawn.
So what I'm hearing is not only does Mark get credit for being one of the best cross country runners, but you get credit for your brother being one of the best cross country runners because you took that burden away from him.
Well, it's 100%, but it's also like, it's not like I wasn't playing sports. I'd have to fucking get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, mow this goddamn lawn until about 11 o'clock a.m. just so I can catch my baseball game at noon. And it's like, and I'm trying to get out there. And by the way, I'd still go 3 for 4 with 2 doubles.
Yeah.
But imagine had I not had a 5-hour fucking lawn mowing excursion, you would have seen Aaron Judge numbers out of the Dave man. I'd be 5 for 5 with 4 dingers every single goddamn game.
Yeah, imagine if you did steroids too.
I don't need the steroids.
Fair enough. I was proven wrong. My bad. I see it. I see it. I see it.
It's so hot in this fucking apartment of mine.
They cut the
I closed my windows, and because we're recording, I decided not to put on the air conditioning. Big goddamn fucking mistake. I'm opening up these windows, and I don't care who in the hell gets uncomfortable about it in this apartment complex when they hear a crazy man screaming.
Well, we'll get through this section, then on the break, we'll let you get.
I got 2 busybodies lately. Did I tell you about them?
No.
We're doing so many shows, I legitimately don't know where I am anymore. Like what I've discussed with you, where I've discussed it with you. It's getting very confusing. We
did hear about the young yuppies.
There's a young couple who is very fucking nosy and is always looking in my apartment because they hear me yelling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is discipline for the stand man or for myself sometimes, or for the dogs. For the dogs, when I watch the dogs. Some of it's discipline. The other...
For Rob when he picks you up to go into the city. Who knows who you're disciplining?
Or it's Robert, who has a lot of behavioral discipline he should undergo. But on top of that, then it's all these podcasts. And I think it's usually more of the podcasts people think that I'm nuts. And they're looking in my mirror, like looking in the windows right now.
They probably just want to see a glimpse of the star.
Maybe.
But you were saying, so basically you remember having to do this. Beanie doesn't remember you having to cut the grass.
She denies this story to this day. I brought it up recently. I go, Mom, remember how you and Dad had me mow the lawn when I was like 11? Actually, I might have started when I was 10. I'm not kidding. Because 10 years old would make more sense because Mark would be 14, but in his freshman year, 14 turning 15.
For cross country, yeah.
So again, it was a big like 2-wheel, forward drive. Like the thing was too big and powerful. It was a fucking battle. It was like I was in combat with goddamn Jaws every single day when I had to mow this stupid lawn. And I says this to her. I go, do you remember this? And she goes, that never happened. No way. That never happened. Mark, but here's the part. I almost got mad. Okay, I did. I got mad. Because she goes, Mark mowed the lawn all throughout high school. I go, dude, you can be in denial, Mommy. You can be in denial about forcing your little 10-year-old Davey Mack into mowing the lawn before he should have been. But he was the one doing it. I was the one doing it. Like, they can lie about what the reasons were. They can try to pretend it wasn't to save Mark's cross-country career. But the truth is, he went to Dartmouth on a cross-country scholarship and then became an assistant coach afterwards. So he was a fucking great great runner. He still runs goddamn something crazy 8 to 10 miles a day.
He runs 8 to 10 miles away, and you run your mouth on Davey Max Tales.
And thinking I made it up. And she actually says stuff like that. And it bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, since it's just like your memory versus hers, it's not like this is a pattern where you're misremembering things from other people.
I wouldn't make this up.
No, I get it.
Actually goes like, oh, stop it. You're just making stuff up. So it's like she's become like a program director, a general manager, like of a radio station. That I'm the crazy one. And I'm like, nope. I'm the one who was just here to tell a story. I'm the one being creative, but not lying about anything or embellishing anything. Just telling a good old story. A good story. I've been told I can tell stories, so I'm telling a story. No, but you're making it all up.
Not all of it. It came from somewhere. But
see, Mark wasn't there. Otherwise, he would have been like, "Oh yeah, Mom, Dave mowed the lawn." When I was in high school, yeah, and Dave was like in fucking 4th grade. That's the point. He was in a freshman year, and I was in 5th grade, and I'm mowing the lawn.
I think it turned you into the man you are today. That said,
do you know one time I fucking Huck Finned my stupid friend Frank by being like, mowing the lawn is awesome. I love it. And because like my friends couldn't believe like a 11-year-old kid was actually mowing his, like parents' huge lawn in Spring Lake. They were like, wow, it's amazing. I'm like, oh yeah. So I pretend like, I was all grown up and adult and stuff. But then I was like, well, you want to come over and I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
I got Frank to mow the lawn that day.
Hell yeah, dude.
He did a terrible job. My parents knew it.
Oh God. We had
there would be, you go up and down, right? But like the object is cutting every single thing of grass. He would try to go up one way, then back the other way, but he wouldn't be on top of the rows. So like this portion would be cut, and then this portion would be cut, but there would be like a
strip in the middle.
Yeah.
Like a baseball field almost.
Like a 3-4 inch strip in the middle of long grass. And I'm like, Frank, what the fuck?
Nah, you can't do that, Frank.
Yeah.
We had a similar situation in my neighborhood. My buddy Dennis, myself, and One Hand Quinn were over at Dennis's house. And well, I guess at the time his name was just Quinn. But Dennis lived on a hill, and we learned that if you like tied down the lawnmower handle, you could ride the lawnmower down the hill. It went great for Dennis. It went great for me, and did not go so great for Quinn, who that day became One-Handed Quinn.
Oh shit! You guys, did you see this happen?
No, I was long gone by then. I was good at a kid at sensing when a situation was about to get ugly and being like, "I'm gonna go home, guys. This doesn't seem like a good time."
Wow! So you weren't there when the kid's hand fell off?
No, it was ugly though.
That would have been
pretty sure to this day.
Had you seen that as a child?
Well, like then, but unlike you, Dennis never had to cut the grass again because he had PTSD. Yeah,
I should have chopped off my own hand. I'm telling you, the lawnmower was inappropriate for a 10/11-year-old. The lawnmower was too big and too powerful.
Yeah, it's one thing if you have a small, tiny yard and one of those old school 2-wheels.
Those lightweight bullshitters.
Yeah.
Fucking fine.
But no, that's a lot.
Not this huge. Like, dude, I was like having to mix like coolant and gasoline with like a beaker and shit just to pour it into the lawnmower because the lawnmower didn't take straight up gas. It took a combination of gas and coolant. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous for a 10-year-old to be doing this shit.
Thankfully, like, when I finally graduated college, my parents bought a tractor because we have like an acre and a half, and half of it's just on a straight up hill and used to just die. But like now I just go and turn on Tales from the Satellite and help my dad out. But the last time you actually heard it from Beanie Mac or about Beanie Mac on the Ron and Fez show prior to her being in studio was when you introduced her to Casey and also announced that Casey was your fiance at the same dinner party. Now, in the moment, Beanie didn't react the best. Apparently, like at one point when they asked when it was going to happen, you were like a couple months from now, and your dad, was like, oh god damn it, and threw his fork down and walked away from the table.
Hard Rock. It's gonna be happening at the Hard Rock Cafe where you can get chicken fingers, Dad.
Now, obviously, Beanie came to love anybody who you loved because she was your mom.
Yep.
And when she went on air that day, she told a bit of a story that apparently the day prior, a very good friend of hers had passed away, and she had just gone to the psychiatrist and was on new antidepressants. Is that just the McDonald way of just being like, I'm sorry? Like,
no, that's the McDonald way of you're completely batshit insane and you take a left turn during a story. And a lot of times I can somehow find my way back. But with Beanie Mac, sometimes we don't come back home and we're just still making left-hand turns. And that was one where, yeah, she'll be like the classic thing is like she'll be like telling me a story. Let's go back to the Atlantic Club where she'll be like, she just wants to tell me a story about how many laps she did. But she's like, oh, yeah, I went on my way to the Atlantic Club. And, before I went in the pool real quick, I got a towel from this gentleman named Peter. He's a bodyguard there. Great guy. Absolutely fantastic guy. Wonderful person. Wonderful. Just fantastic. Practicing laws. And I'm like, this whole story was about how many laps you did in the pool, how much training you have for your senior Olympics. You're now telling me about some fucking local Jersey lawyer who I could give two shits about. I don't know the guy.
Now, let me ask you, what was the situation like leading up to the wedding? Did Beanie get on board? Was she supportive? I mean,
oh yeah, they got on board. They got on board. They got on board. They're nice people. Patty Mac has passed on. Beanie Mac still with us. Nice people. They got on board completely. Yeah, 100%.
I just, you never know what's being played up for the air and what's actually real.
No.
And then,
I mean, nothing was played out. I mean, if anything, I may have worked, myself into a shoot with that whole engagement and marriage thing. I might have worked myself into a shoot because, yeah, I kind of thought it was supposed to be a fun little bit on Pal Talk. Well, all these years later, I have a 16-year-old and 17-year-old, but you know what? I love it. Little miracles, and everything happens for the right reasons is what they says.
And let's be honest, that might explain why Stan is such a wrestling fan. If he was a work turn shoot, the result of that is him. He's got to love wrestling.
Oh yeah, he's all about gimmicks. He's all about kayfabe, baby.
What was interesting is Ron and Fez are doing the typical kind of bust on Dave a little bit, make fun of Dave in front of his mom. And she has to defend it. And her thing was she always knew you were going to figure it out. Her point was, what was right for her might not be right for you, so she always had faith that you were going to get there and figure it out on your own. And we actually hear her say that about Casey some too. Like she's kind of figuring out what she's going to do. And she has this belief in you. Is that who your mom is? If we look at the results of what her kids are doing these days, they've all gone down incredibly unique paths that like don't always have like a straightforward, you do this, you do this, you do this. You're not going to med school to become a like you're in broadcasting. Yeah. Your brother was coaching cross country. Like,
true.
Do you think that's a result of how we raised you guys?
Yeah, I would say our parents didn't really push us into any specific job or occupation for sure, but they were definitely quite supportive. If you had an idea and this and that and believed in yourself, and they were like, yeah, go after it. 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We do hear a funny line from Beanie I wanted to ask you about. She said, and I quote, David's the most athletic of my kids.
Boom!
He just wasn't into sports.
Wait, what?
Like you decided to go into the newspaper, into journalism, instead of really
my last 2 years of high school. In grade school, I did baseball, basketball, soccer, golf, and track. Then in high school, I did baseball and basketball, and then intramural soccer at CBA. But then, actual baseball and basketball. Baseball where I hit 389, led the team in RBIs. Yeah, I was on the junior varsity, but I was also a sophomore. And guess what? There were 3 juniors on our JV team. That's how damn good we were and how damn good the varsity was and how damn good the CBA baseball program at the time was. That I had juniors on my JV team, and as a sophomore, still led the team in batting average 389 and RBIs 28.
I'm not knocking your athleticism.
28 in a 16-game season, folks. Just so you know. 28 in a 16-game regular season, folks. So, Mommy, I'm not into sports. With all due respect, Beanie, with all due respect, what the fuck are you thinking? What are you talking about? I'm not into sports. There's no one in my family who's more into sports than me. No one. I am actually the number one sports guy in our family. By far. I watch baseball, basketball, and football religiously. I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals, by the way. I'm becoming a brand new mega hockey fan. I've always been a casual Devils fan, but not this year. I made an agreement with with a friend from Canada. If he roots for the Knicks, I would root for the Oilers.
If I was that guy,
I'm sticking to it. Oilers are down 2-1 as we record this.
Yeah, if I was that guy, I would have offered to root for the Knicks if you rooted for the fucking Panthers. Just given your track record lately, Davey Mack. Oh. Every one of your teams makes it to the finals and loses.
Yeah.
I would have had you root for the Panthers. Just help my Oilers out. But that's why I'm a smart American and not a dumb Canadian.
This has been the biggest, on one hand, cock tease, and then on the other hand, true blue nightmare torture scenario that the Yankees got to the World Series only to lose. Notre Dame gets all the way to the championship game in college, only to lose. And Knicks get to their first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. We're going to the NBA Finals. We have home court advantage. We're going to fucking beat those awful redneck hick fucking Pacers. And the Knicks lose. It's like, it is torture. Because it's most people, their teams just don't get in there, or they don't make the playoffs, or they suck. You don't have 3 teams in one fucking calendar year get to the championship round or goddamn close to it, all to lose.
Maybe you should run away.
I'm blaming Beanie. I can't believe she would say I'm that I wasn't into sports.
I think her point was you had other passions, but let's get into when things go wrong. Davey Mack runs away. Is that a trend that you had growing up? You were the only kid of hers that ran away, and you did it twice, apparently. Once at 16 and once at 25.
Wait a second. 16, 25. What? Okay, no. I don't know what she's talking about with the 16-year-old thing. But then there was the one time, yes, that I freaked out. I knew I had gotten bad grades and I had thrown a party when my parents were away and the house was too destroyed. And so I literally said, I'm going to get in the car and just live in my car in New York City, I guess, for the rest of my life. And I made it for a month.
You eventually got busted because you were using your dad's credit card to get a hotel room. But what set them off was apparently the credit card kept buying souvenir items. And they were like, you're from New Jersey. Why would you be buying souvenirs in New York? And
I like some of the things.
I needed a Statue of Liberty
with the apple on it. And I wanted some of the, I love New York. I could blend in that way. I could blend in if someone's looking. And here's the crazy thing. I got a job even when I ran away. I mean, if anyone questions my work ethic, it's unparalleled, because even when I somehow found myself becoming a telemarketer for a Broadway theater company. And I know it was the weirdest thing. And we actually had like a tour of all the theaters, and we went backstage and like toured all of the like theaters in New York.
Broadway theaters. Broadway theaters. Peas hold.
That was fun to like tour the theaters, but yeah, it was a really bizarre thing. It's like who decides they're just gonna bolt, just leave, vanish without a trace, only to wind up in New York, buy an I Love New York t-shirt, and then work for the fucking, Broadway company.
And I mean, you're basically like a New York only Forrest Gump. In the New York, New Jersey region, you do it all. You just show up in weird places.
Oh, that's true.
Fucking Chris Angel's there. Dave's talking to him with his puppet.
Well, yeah, but let's get it right. It was the other one, David Blaine.
Mm.
You said Chris Angel.
Oh, my bad. That's what I meant. Thank you for correcting me. Sometimes I make mistakes, and it takes a real man to admit that. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah.
The first time I guess you ran away, you were 16, according to Beanie, and I just want to see if this jogs your memory because you said it did a little bit on air. You were 16, you got a bunch of bad grades, and much like the first story, you didn't really have a plan. You just had money in your pocket, and you were going to go to New York City, but you only had enough money to make it to Newark. And thankfully, Wally lived in Hoboken, so he could just go get you and bring you home. It was only like a day experience. You didn't actually get away far.
I mean, I will say if this happened, I will go with her. But this is weird. I don't have any memory of this, and I think I would have remembered because I remember stuff way like as a little kid, way before that. But who knows? Maybe I also don't forget, Robert. I'm 16. Almost every weekend I was doing LSD.
LSD, or I was thinking like you might have just been pissed drunk.
No, acid. When I was 16, acid.
That does explain something.
It was specifically acid at the age of 16. I went hard at that age that made me certifiably insane. But after 16, I only did acid one more time, just freshman year in college when I was 19. But I got all of my acid doing LSD. I got it all out of the way at the age of 16. But I did do it almost every single weekend for like 16 weekends in a row.
For now. What if that's how we unlock Davey Mac's future? You just start picture yourself on a boat.
Hand it over. Let's go.
I would. The one time I got it from a mutual friend of ours, and I had a terrible trip, and we'll never do it again. It was the worst experience. But back to this. She said Wally got you. She also described Wally as your protector. Like the guy who always kind of looked out for you. Now, is Wally older than Mark?
Yes. Wally's the second oldest. It's Patrick, then Wally, then Mark, then me, the youngest.
And I said it earlier. Wally's my favorite because he offers to send us smoke bombs.
Yeah, we got smoke bombs, and I got another box of something.
But do you feel like
I got a box of like Pop-Ums or something? He sent us another box of like party stuff. We got to incorporate this stuff.
Wally's the man.
I told you. You come up with the bit for how to incorporate it.
I think we just run around New York yelling Allah Akbar and light the smoke bombs and just see what happens. But would you say that's an accurate description of Wally?
Yes,
I do think he's a huge supporter of you. I think he's got your back. But I also think sometimes he is the guy who goes, here's a smoke bomb and hands it to the special needs guy. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he may give you the tools to self-destruct, because at this time he was also doing things like sending a shot caller to the show, which is supporting you, but it's also,
I got shocked
to get shot.
And then, I got shocked. And then there was the kilt, which was great. But then I was told by Ron, you have to wear the kilt every day. And I did, because yet again, I'm such a great soldier, except then it became January in New York City. And I was literally like dying of pneumonia. I was so sick. And it was freezing and snowy and windy and rainy. And I wasn't even calling out. I wasn't calling out of the show. I was like borderline pneumonia. But I just couldn't wear the kilt anymore because I was freezing. And then when I didn't wear the kilt, I remember I got some shit for it. Like,
I remember too.
Where's the fucking kilt? Like, you're the kilt guy. I'm like, I'm really sick here. It's January, New York. It's like snowing. I can't do it today. I feel like I might die, and I'm freezing.
The kilt. Didn't you even wear it to dinner with the bosses?
No, I mean, come on. Come on. And that's the thing.
That's a compliment. I meant, yeah, I'm pretty sure you even committed to the bit so hard you wore it to a major dinner with Don and Elo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You wore the trophy.
We did that. Yeah, I wore it out to a dinner and everything like that.
But yeah,
so again, you do this type of shit. It makes me, in my opinion, a creative, fun, enthusiastic, ready to do anything. But also, I am, believe it or not, an intelligent person. I think, I used to play it up like I fucking had rocks in my head for the whack bag contingency because all of those fat slobs like had no idea that I could work them.
Yeah,
and just pretended I had a small IQ. So, in order to pretend like, duh, I'm an idiot. And then they could say things like, Eastside Dave sucks at life. So they were like my little marks, which I worked over and over. But truth be told, that's like the type of stuff. It's like the kilt, and then it's like, then the boss is like, oh, that's the crazy guy. And it's like, oh.
But it also sounds like to me, Wally kind of read you and knew what to do to give you that little push to take you to the next level.
Yeah, no. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying. You'd think that business people in positions of power wouldn't be like, hey, that's the fun person who like everyone talks about or like has lots of energy. I don't see that person as like an entertainer, a performer. Instead, I just see them as crazy. Yeah. They're crazy. Oh, he's wacky. He's crazy. It's like, ugh.
No, that's a character he's playing.
Yeah, I know. It's called performance.
But yeah, like I agree. And what I was saying is I don't think Wally was setting you up for failure. I think he was giving you tools to succeed because he knew you so well. Like, without giving too many details, because it's a long story, I pulled off a senior prank. And the threat was ultimately, if you do a senior prank from this point forward, you won't walk at your graduation. And my mom, the morning of, was like, don't do it. Like, if you don't walk, I won't talk to you for a while. And like, as I was pulling into the school, I got a call from my dad. And he was just like, hey, man, if you don't do this, you're going to regret it the rest of your life. Like, go do it. And like, that's the push you needed. Like, you're good. You're going to be fine. You're safe. And I think that's what Wally was for you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay with the fun stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. One last point to get to before we let them listen to some more audio. Your mom, when she said you weren't as much into athletics, pointed out that you had a poetry club.
Yeah, at CBA.
You founded this?
No, I was the editor of the Arista magazine, which was the prose and poetry club. Well, really what the Arista is it's a magazine filled with prose, poetry, and artwork done by the students, all done by the students. And we put out one a year around May, and it's a big thing. And I was the editor. I was the charge. I was the head. I was the HGIC. You understand? Head ninja in charge.
You were the dude who wears the crowns in Dead Poet Society.
Hell yeah. That's who I was.
Did you use that to hook up with chicks? Because you were basically that guy. Did you like, hey, that's kind of like me, and then show them Dead Poet Society?
No, I didn't think of it like that. The reason why I did it was because I wrote a couple short stories and I wanted to make sure that they got into the fucking magazine. Yeah. So and here's the thing, you had to be elected. You had to be first appointed by the previous editor had to make you the assistant editor. So when I was a junior, I had to try out and do all this shit. And then the senior guy said, okay, you're the guy. The next year you take over. Okay.
That was fun. What I did, Dave, was so in the fall of my senior year, I knew who took pictures of the football team for the yearbook. So I dated her because as a lineman, I wasn't getting many shots typically, but you're dating the photographer for the yearbook. Guess who's all over it? Then when it came basketball season, break up with her. You date the girl who takes those photos.
This is who. I mean, with all due respect, who gives a shit about Robert's scholastic career when I'm giving you juicy gossip here? Because
it was just relating to your story.
Because when I was the head editor of the Arista my senior year, there was a huge scandal, and they had to rip out the middle of the fucking book itself, because the teacher in charge, Mr. Feely, was the English teacher, and he had been running this Arrestor program for 20 years. And I thought it'd be nice to give him a shout out. So my friend, right? You never do something nice for anyone anymore. So I asked my friend, Ryan, who's a brilliant artist. He did a beautiful picture, beautiful artist, not drawing, paint.
Wow.
Of the Beatles in their Sgt. Pepper's outfits. And I said, perfect. Mr. Feely's like a 60s type of guy, right? So I'm going to put Ryan Ebling's thing, because it would take 2 pages. I'm going to put that in the middle, right? That's the centerfold. And then I'm going to put it on the top for the benefit of Mr. Feely, like being for the benefit of Mr. Kite. Okay? Famous song on Sgt. Pepper's. No,
Go
this
on.
was a what?
I feel bad foreshadowing about a teacher named Mr. Feely.
Well, nothing happened in that regard, but let's stay focused so I can finish the fucking story. Goddamn motherfucker. So I get into school. The Arrestor is going to come out that day. We've worked on it for all year. And people, I go into Mr. Feely. He's got the boxes and boxes of Arrestors and like 8 people ripping centerfolds out. I go, what the fuck? What's going on? He's furious. He says he's considering not even releasing the Arrestor and maybe, suspending me. Like making me suspended. Because I never told him about what was going to go in the middle of the book. It was a surprise. But was the centerfold a fucking chick showing off twat and puss?
No.
Was the middle of fucking, like a goddamn gang rape scene from Clockwork Orange?
No.
No. The middle was the fucking picture of the Beatles in their Sgt. Pepper's outfits with being for the benefit of Mr. Feely. Like, thank you, Mr. Feely, for doing this for 20 years. And even that, I got in trouble. Sometimes I think it's just not worth existing as Eastside Dave. I can't fucking do a thing without someone getting mad.
You really are like that dude from Dead Poet Society.
I am. I'm going to wear that fucking crown of thorns. I'm going into daddy's fucking drawer.
And on that note, you guys are going to go into the audio drawer and hear a little more from the lovely Beanie Mac.
So, what did you bring us? You brought us some treats here.
I brought I asked David if he would like to have some pound cake.
Ah.
So I made my homemade pound cake.
Yeah.
I thought that was a meatloaf.
I thought it was a football.
I don't know how this thing opens.
Oh, honey, it's upside
Oh,
down.
foil.
Upside down, Dave.
Yeah. Well, you were too busy writing your poetry to come up with any basic
But
mechanics.
anyway, if you'd like, you certainly can share that.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will.
Fez, do you
Okay.
eat this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
You
Yeah,
do? Okay.
pound cake's fine. I would love to try that.
All right, great.
He's got
It's-
one of
it's a
those
very
lodged
good-
in his artery already.
It's
A knife is what he's looking for, Earl.
The thing you wave around anytime we eat, Earl, a knife.
What's it like in there, junior producer?
Earl can't get a piece, otherwise he'll cut the
Dave,
pound
Dave's
cake into
upside
millions
down.
of pieces.
It's upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I turn it now, it'll go on
Well,
the.
honey,
Yeah, don't put it. You're making a mockery of this.
Yeah.
Earl, why don't you bring your mom in? Mom's Mabley.
I'll just-
My Earl was something else as a young man.
Thank you.
now, if you really want to have this good, what we would like to
Yeah.
have is put some ice cream on it.
Yeah. Did you bring any?
No.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Make sure you
I
don't
don't
touch
want
mine that much,
Thank you.
Dave.
I know, it's just been manhandled.
Little
Maybe
hot fudge.
Debbie should be,
Yeah.
because women are good. Not to
Take
be-
your thumb off of it. Thank you.
Please.
Could you cut the?
Just about the funniest thing I've ever watched. Though.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined it a little.
It's good pound cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's really
I've had it a lot in my life.
How could you run away from this, Dave? At age 23.
Moist.
It is. It's very moist. This is a beautiful
yeah?
studio.
Yeah.
This is a
was-
real nice spot here.
Yeah. What's happening?
It's-
What's happening?
Oh,
The
Why are we doing this? Because we're eating?
We wanted
We're
to
eating
get the table.
pancakes. We have to raise the table a little. Oh, and then we lower it.
I'm very dizzy today,
For all the
Beanie.
short people. Oh, yeah. So,
Dave's going through a lot of drug problems.
Did you see Fez's hair?
Pass me
Yeah,
a
no, I
fork
love
without
I
touching
love
the
it.
prongs.
It looks very
Thanks.
cool. Actually, I have my camera, too. I thought I would take some pictures.
Oh, that'd be great. We'll all pose together.
If you'd like. If you'd like.
I love
But you
that.
know,
Thank you.
You really need to have some ice cream with that too.
Yeah.
And yet we don't.
But you know, I didn't want to walk across town with melting ice cream.
I thought Ro was going to bring the ice cream in, but
Oh, she's too busy playing the
Another-
turtle game.
yeah, another thing.
Fantastic, huh, Fez?
I'm so
How do you
glad.
like it, fellas?
Wonderful.
Good. Good.
Okay, well,
Thanks, honey.
it's been nice.
No,
what?
she's staying.
Oh,
Because, since we got to see some of the work from your past,
Yeah.
maybe Beanie could stick around and watch you do board gossip.
oh boy.
So,
Oh, jeez.
very good. Should I sit over there?
I can sit there.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Razzle dazzle. It's board gossip with Eastside Dave.
You're gonna want to cover your ear. Some of them.
Yeah, put your headphones on.
No, I was just going to say.
They make it. It's board gossip time! Starting off with Pal Talk, where it looks like Boater was looking for his boat to be chartered at F.H. Riley's recently. A reportedly drunken boater went up to Vicky J on Saturday and asked her, quote, "Will you make out with me?" I hate to say that in the presence of my mother. To which Vicky's response was, "No, dirtbag."
Dirtbag?
I don't want to say that.
What was it really?
That was what it was. End quote. Oh my. Looks like Boater has been sunk once again. Hope he has a
What?
intercourse lifeboat.
Wow.
Some of these things. Like the music though.
So the punchline was intercourse lifeboat?
Life.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yes.
Come on, I know that
Mr.
word.
B.
Yeah.
Do I have to do
I'm
this?
66.
Glipping back to FBA, where it seems cigars and scotch may be imbibing too much of the latter part of his name. The gossip team spotted Cigars telling a certain happy typing girl that he has sexual dreams about her. And in fact, his exact words were, oh gosh, I don't know why I'm doing this. The dreams... The HTG, quote, "The dreams make me wet and hot."
What?
What? He's been having dreams about Debbie.
Who's he?
Cigars and scotch.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh la la. And now we find the
How'd you
subject.
get wet?
Oh boy. That was the quote. Hey, the subject becomes even smokier as Cigars is in fact married. Oh my. One can only hope HTG does the right thing and puts out Cigars' flames of love.
Let's build a fire and let it get hot. Let's go down the flames of love.
Oh boy. Oh, and speaking of HTG, seems Mike Kaka has once again fled the delightful typing dame and gone back to Chicago. Oh well, looks like Miss HTG's once bright fall season has now become a blue autumn.
Blue autumn, a love like yours, I'll never know.
Bobby Goldsboro. Blue autumn, yes, mother. Bobby Goldsboro, remember?
I do.
He was one of your favorites.
Oh, yeah. She certainly was.
She's doing the voice, though?
Just to tell you, for 2 years, he spoke to me with an English accent, and I responded with the English accent.
How come?
So there you go. I don't
How
know.
come?
I don't
Hey,
know.
hello,
He was
mother.
15 and 16. I don't know
I
what
should
that
have tried Ritalin when I was younger. And now who could it be?
Who can it be now? Who can it be now?
Seems a certain sheepish member of RonFez.net was recently seen asking Lemels advice on how to get intimate with his Russian girlfriend, to which Lemels offered this advice, quote, "Just step up I can't say this word.
Step up and what?
I can't say this word.
Don't look at
the
me, I
other
can't
word.
say
Say
that
the other
word.
word that means.
I can't say
Say the
it.
other word that means it.
Sissy, maybe
Kitty
would.
cat.
Right.
Kitty cat.
I think, okay.
Pussy.
Hey now, in quotes. As for the man-child in question, I can't tell you who it is, except he doesn't like being picked on at football games, and he often wears sweaters made from sheep. Extremely comfy, he says. I wonder. Who could it be?
Who can it be now? Who can it be now?
Oh, I can't do this next one.
No, can't be done at all. Can't even get through it.
I'll try. Look out the window! It's according to Melinda! Oh, when we columnists thought he could go no lower, gossip spies saw Flea getting kicked out of a restaurant on Monday, Brooklyn Diner to be exact, because he refused to pay for his fried calamari, which he deemed unsatisfactory. When word spread through Pal Talk like fire through an apple, Melinda made the following statement. He's a weasel with no...
What? With no what?
Cockle-doodle-doo! I don't know. A weasel.
I think I'm putting a cramp.
That's so great that you did the exact same thing as him. I think I'm putting a cramp in him.
A cramp in his style.
He's got a cramp in his
cramp,
style.
cramp.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Now we know where you get it. It's amazing.
He's a weasel
I was
with
going to
no...
say, choose your own word.
Yeah, choose your own words. Don't go by others.
All right.
Choose your friends. Don't let them choose you.
That was the quote. I'd like to be accurate on board gossip. Well, he's a weasel with no male chicken thing, you know.
Chicken thing?
Male chicken. End quote. Hey now, maybe Flea should consider a career in an animal freak show because he apparently is a weasel with no...
Cock.
Right, according to Melinda.
Glad that I'm here. Ron,
I don't know.
aren't you happy I'm
No.
here?
Oh, yeah.
Now, upon reflection, it was not the brightest idea. And that's today's board gossip. And remember, they're always watching.
That was it today?
It's 5 stories. Always 5.
Couldn't even understand it today. Could you, Fez?
I didn't make heads or tails out of that one.
Nervous.
Yeah.
Mother's in the room. Mother's in the room.
It's all right, you could be nervous.
I think it's great she's here for your last day at work. I think that's fantastic.
So I'm going to take him out for a little bite to eat.
Where are you going to take
Celebrate.
him? Where are you going to celebrate? What's the big celebration?
It's his last day, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Help carry the boxes of his stuff.
You know what you ought to do with him? Take him right down 57th Street, or stop it, to the place that you used to work at CBS.
Oh, yeah, all the way down 57th. In fact, I passed an apartment it's on 9th. It's on 57th and 9th, where we used to, one of the fellas...
used to take you after work?
Well, no, we'd go up there for a party. This fellow, he was taking some other fellas.
Ah, Barry Manilow.
And, well, no, it wasn't Barry.
Okay.
But anyway, it was this little building that's still there. It's one of like these sliver buildings. It must be at least about a 1920s building. It's really weird. But in any case, I don't know where I'm taking him because...
I haven't told her.
Yeah. We were just going out for lunch.
I was thinking that I was thinking London because you advised me to do it.
I told you it was too expensive for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna go there, and I'm treating Mother.
Are you? How
yes,
wonderful!
I'm treating. Today's the day I grow up, as HTG once told me.
She told you to grow up?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you said. She said
30.
No.
30.
Yeah, you got 30 coming up.
30,
That's right.
30 in a couple of weeks. You know, that's a big deal. He's growing up. He's 30.
Yeah.
Isn't this something?
It's time for him to get out of that little airplane bed that you had for him back at the house.
Yeah. And also that little thing that he rolls around in in the kitchen floor.
What is that?
You know, those things that you sit in with little kids and...
Oh yeah, our nephew has like a little kid tractor, like a child tractor, you know, I like to use it myself when it's in the kitchen.
When farming.
Yeah.
Did you know that David drowned once?
Now, what exactly? He tells us that he drowned in the ocean.
No, it wasn't the ocean. We lived in Solebury, and on a farm like this old house, very old, 1750.
Mm-hmm.
That's old.
That's what the rent was.
But in any case, it had a farm pond, and one day he fell in the farm pond. He went after his brothers. His brothers were going like down the path or something, and he followed them, but he got as far as the pond and fell in. And so I found him floating face down in the pond. He was 17 months old. And so I picked him up, and anyway, he was revived. He's here to talk about it. But this guy's had a lot of adventures.
Now, do you think he was actually dead for a little while? Like, did he stop breathing, or because he could? A big part of this,
everything was
is
stopped.
brain damage.
You know,
is why he's acting like this.
I wondered about that, but but for one thing, he's very bright. So that, there's different ways that you could have brain damage. But what happened was, and the doctor said everything happened the way it was supposed to. Like in your throat, there's a little muscle or some sort that stops so that you don't keep breathing in the water. That stopped.
I didn't
know
that.
This farm pond is fed by a spring, so it's always
cold.
Never freezes and it's never.
So in fact, if it wasn't cold water, he would have.
That's exactly.
He would have died as well.
Right.
And no, it had to be rough for you because there you were watching TV, letting a 17-year-old run off for everyone.
You know what I was doing? I was sweeping.
Let me guess,
sweeping the kitchen floor.
Yep. Yeah, my mom used to sweep a little bit herself. So, but that had to be the most terrifying moment in your life to see. I can't imagine.
That was.
How far to the hospital? Do you remember how far you had to take him? Or
yeah, it was about 15 minutes to the hospital, and they wouldn't let me go in the ambulance with him, so I went in the police car in back of him, and
cuffed. So you must have thought he was gone. You must have thought
no, because here's what happened. I started giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but I didn't really know how to do it. And I started.
And you didn't even stop that until you met Casey. That's when they finally...
And then the dry cleaner man came.
His real dad?
No, but he did have red hair. But
okay.
No, it's a joke.
Perfect.
And he has blonde hair.
He had red hair and blue eyes. Well, anyway, so he got all excited, and then I called the police, and they came. And then one of the policemen started giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So he was coming back, but he wasn't awake.
Right.
So by the time... So they resuscitated him for several hours, and then he went to sleep. And when he woke up at 5 in the afternoon, he was fine.
Yeah. Just imagine if he would have died that long ago, we would be going, why is this woman in our studio? Why has she come here today? This is odd. Cheers. So before that happened, he was normal. And then after this happened, he was the Dave that we all know.
Yeah.
Kind of loud and loud, and he was really quite loud, and spoke. He started speaking, communicating when he was about
14.
Say about this was weird because he really did, and he was not quite 2 months old, and he every time somebody talked, he went talked to.
A lot of gurgling.
We call that stepping on the other person, but talking the same exact time.
All my line.
Yeah.
So, but now I forgot what it was.
Well, you said when he was little, no one could touch his ears, and he'd have a panic attack every time.
But he would scream. It was crazy. Why you couldn't touch somebody's ears, I'll never know.
Don't touch
something about Ruby.
Don't touch my ears. I don't want that.
I know.
to be
You're
done.
the only one who knows how I moved them both into a movie plot without him knowing. I don't know why he did it. He didn't. It's out of a movie.
Then we moved to...
It's crazy, right?
Total hypnosis.
That's what I try to tell people. Yeah, you get them leaned into a place, and everybody's comfortable, and then you get them to say whatever you want.
It did happen.
No, it didn't. It was a film.
And then we moved to Spring Lake. When we moved to Spring Lake, the woman across the street said, well, I'm so happy you're here. And I said, oh, thanks. And she said, yeah, because of David, you're the loudest family on the street.
Oh.
Jeez, what?
You would have thought you would have tried to keep him away from water after that big mistake. Moved him to a desert somewhere.
The kids taught him how to swim.
Yeah.
And they, you know how they taught him?
They said,
they said, if you cross the pool down by the ocean. If you cross the pool, we'll give you this candy. And that's what they did. And that's how he was
Always
4.
loves me candy.
Yeah.
Always loves me Snickers. Says the baby who talked in 15 days.
Good.
We are back. Now, one thing that's kind of a running tradition through the Ron and Fez O&A universe is producers' moms making food for the show. All right, Sam's mom was known for making her pubic-laden cookies for Jim that he loves so much. Your mom brought a pound cake for Fez's birthday. She didn't realize it was Fez's birthday, but Fez was none too pleased with the pound cake. He was like, there's not even icing.
She likes making pound cake. I've told her she should make her chocolate cake, her very special chocolate cake, which when I explained that to Ron, he mocked it because it's a Duncan Hines box cake that I give her all this credit for.
Okay. Well, if it tastes good.
It
tastes good.
does.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Good
Right?
old-fashioned yellow cake with chocolate icing
Hard
can't
to beat.
go wrong.
Very
That's
hard to
more
beat.
American than apple pie, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree
Yellow
with you more.
fucking goddamn cake, chocolate icing. That's the most American dessert out there.
I remember one year my mom baked a cookie cake for me for my birthday. The next year she bought one, and the bought one tasted way better. It was 5 minutes of work compared to, and you know what I mean? It's like, let's just go with this. It works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's probably not healthy, but so is Beanie a good cook? And what was the relationship with Fez like behind the scenes?
What was the relationship with my mom?
Yeah, and Fez, like one thing I love about a lot of the on-air relationships versus off-air relationships with Fez is if he pretended like he was giving you a hard time on air, he then went.
There was no
sweet.
relationship with my mom and Fez off the air. I don't think they ever spoke one
Oh,
time. I mean,
okay.
yeah, I'm not going to give my mom like Ron and Fez's phone numbers or emails.
No,
Oh my
no.
God.
I meant like after the show, did he check in and go, "Hey, you know, we love you and we're proud of your son" or anything? Because on air they're giving this, "Oh, Dave's a fuck up." Dave's, you know,
After the episode, you mean?
yeah, like right after,
Yes.
not like a continuing. phone
After the
call.
episode, they definitely said stuff. Both Ron and Fez definitely said very, very encouraging things about me to my mom. 100%. 100%. Yeah. But I mean, there was no relationship. That was it. That was the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
But you are right. They did do that. I actually remember witnessing it. I remember witnessing Ron and Fez saying nice things to my mom about me. So that did in fact happen.
And I imagine it did. That's why I
Yeah, no,
asked the
I
question.
actually
just asked
remember
it
it
very
well.
stupidly. One of the things I love is Big A. Every time he talks about roasting, Fez always points out that off the air, Fez was the nicest guy to him, and like it makes your heart feel good because it
That's
does.
great.
So that's why I was curious about that. You then do board gossip in front of your mom.
Do you know, Pepper the other day, or not the other day, but a few months ago, we were just chatting. And I'm like, we're just having a fun little talk and stuff. And he had forgotten that Big A, the roasting guy. Do you remember where that started with?
No,
You don't?
Big A the roast comic.
Oh, just Big A roasting.
No, I don't.
Really?
No, remind me, please.
At all?
I not off the top of my brain right now. No,
Are you sure?
I mean I know you did it for him, but I don't.
That's what I'm
remember
saying.
exactly
You don't
what.
remember Andrew fucking roasting Fez all the time on the Ron and Fez show
Oh
saying,
yes, absolutely. I 100%. That's where it came from. Yeah, absolutely. I thought you meant, do I remember the inaugural moment where he?
No.
first started doing it?
What I'm saying is that Andrew now has parlayed it into he's actually, doing it on stage or something, I think, right? During some of these reunions or whatnot.
He did on a couple of them. I think. It's been a long time since.
I thought he was doing it on a more regular basis.
No,
Because I wanted to, if he was having a lot of success, especially monetary success, I was going to remind him, Andrew, I'm the motherfucker who started writing goddamn jokes on index cards for you, and you fucking speak into the microphone. That started with the Dave man. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I apologize. I thought you meant there was like one first moment. But
No,
yeah,
no,
of course,
no.
that
I
was
was just
you doing
saying,
it for him.
Because Chris is like,
Saucer-sized nipples.
well, because I think it's possible that either Chris or maybe Ron, it could be Ron writing him some of his jokes.
I could see it being a good teamwork between the two of them. And you can kind of tell too. They're not as sharp as they used to be.
Hey.
Like they're as good, but they're a little bit longer and they're not quite as, as polished as a Davey Mack roast joke.
Oh, mine was just straight up insults. Very quick to the insults. Fez, your fucking nipples are bigger than, teacup saucers.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, there wasn't even really a joke there. It's just
Yeah.
my God, my Big A is just Big A the insult man. I can't even say insult comic. Big A the insulter.
Yeah. I didn't want to be a dick.
Bit.
The difference is you could tell when they write, his has a setup and then a punchline, not just.
I'm gonna do that though. I'm gonna have my own character as the insulter, not insult comic. Thus, you don't have to worry about the pesky setup and punchlines and everything. You could just be like, hey, you're fucking ugly. Right, gang? Oh, yeah, you have to have like a punchline too. How about this? Right, gang?
Modern Day Man,
how about
episode
this?
4.
Hey, I'm looking around in the crowd over here. Great comedy club, by the way. We're here at the Stand. Fantastic, beautiful place. Hey, I'm seeing some guy in the front row. Whoa, are you fucking fat or what? Hey, am I right?
He is right.
Oh, yeah, am I right? That's going to be my tagline.
I like that. We should try that on Modern Day Man. I feel like that would be good.
I like that.
Now,
all right, go ahead.
Speaking of you performing, you then perform in front of your mom. And not by jerking off like some people would jump to. You do bored gossip, which is your go-to bet.
I wouldn't have jumped on into that topic with
not
my
you,
mother in the room.
Other people.
Oh, those other people are fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ. It's goddamn some Oedipus shit right there.
Yeah, Freud. Anyway.
Freud wrote Oedipus? I thought that was Homer.
No, Homer wrote Oedipus. Then Freud was like, oh, that explains all of psychology.
Oh.
Basically, what Freud loved doing, Dave, was cocaine and then doing and like hiding the fact he wanted to bang his mom. And then what he would do is a bunch of cocaine and come up with ideas how it was okay we all wanted to bang our mom. And then he started psychology. And it's like, if I had a friend who all he did was cocaine and be like, Bob, it's okay. We want to bang each other's mom. I'd be like, I don't want to take advice from you. In fact, I don't want to hang out with you ever. But that's a tangent. What's not a tangent is now you're doing bored gossip in front of your mom. And this one was particularly sexually charged.
Ooh.
Was that intentional? Like,
no, I think
a lot of
I had written it earlier in the week. And then all of a sudden there was a scramble to get Beanie Mac in studio. And so then that happens. And it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't go back and, switch some things around. Could have edited it a little bit. Maybe a little more PG. But, oh, well.
I respect that. However, I've had the privilege to perform in front of my mom and do comedy, stand-up comedy. I was in Canada, and I just remember going, "Hey, you can leave if you want." And she was like, "No, I want to support you." I was like, "I'm not changing my you know what I mean?" And just leaned into it because, hey, that's what I do. And I apologize. And
no, I told my mom specifically, don't listen to me on the radio. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
If it's going to bother you, don't do it. Just don't do it. Nice and simple. A lot of people find it difficult not to do things. A lot of celebrities feel like, well, I've gone on Twitter and there was one single bad comment, and now I have to chalk it up to some sort of bigotry or hatred when it's just like maybe the person didn't like the movie and they're like, hey, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And then the celebrity's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you don't have to respond to that troll. You don't even have to see that post anymore. You can block the person. You don't have to go online on social media. And no, words are not violence. Violence is violence. I can't kill someone even with the worst words in the world. I can kill someone with a gun. So words can't kill.
Guns can. So not really sure how that tied into you doing bored gossip in front of your mom, but that's okay. I will say the next story she brings up is a very intriguing one. I guess you drowned
Yes.
at like 17 months old.
Well, I mean, I didn't drown. I almost drowned. I'm sitting here talking to you.
No, you can drown and survive. That's when you get water in your lungs and then they have to resuscitate you. And it sounds like that's what happened. Like the police had to show up.
I'm going to Merriam's dictionary right now.
Okay. Well, while you do that, I'll give that a brief explanation just in case you forget. She tried to do mouth to mouth.
Die through submersion in and inhalation of water. First thing that came up.
Okay. I mean, that does make
Kill a person by submerging them in water. You drown. It's the same thing with electrocution. People think that you're allowed to say, oh, he got electrocuted. And I tell people all the time, nope, he got terribly shocked. If he got electrocuted, he'd be dead. Electrocution is death by electricity in the same way that drowning is death by being submerged underwater.
Right.
Now, I could say I almost drowned, or I almost got electrocuted, or I could say I got shocked, or I could say I got waterlogged.
You can also say you drowned and were revived, because it is possible to drown and be revived, according to my Google search, which is basically where they have to bring you back to life, which is what happens through CPR.
What is this? Search, hurry up and search. There's only one person needs to search in this fucking show.
Yeah.
If I'm searching, the search is over. Why are you searching when I'm searching? This ain't goddamn search, hurry up and search.
I didn't believe in your searches.
If I'm searching, you're searching.
I didn't believe in your searches. I was searching for different searches
concludes.
than you were searching for.
This ain't search, hurry up and search.
No, this is search, and Robert's right.
Man, you never let me get on a roll sometimes. You just sneak in your little things.
I try to do. I think we've discussed this before, and this is going to be a huge tangent. We'll talk about Dave drowning in 1 second. I don't think you listen to enough rap music, because sometimes when a guy's rapping, like you're doing the chorus, there's a guy in the background who's emphasizing things for him. Just trying
but on shows like this, your voice takes out mine, dummy.
Well, that's a problem. And I apologize.
No.
You're absolutely right.
It's any online show. Then your fucking little comment mutes my comment. See what I'm saying? So that's why you got to lay out when I'm talking. And then when I'm fucking done, boom, hit your spot.
Boom. No, I'm just teasing. I see what you're saying. But I try to accentuate what you're saying. You be a part of it. So I apologize. I wasn't trying to talk all over you or stop the flow. But you drowned. You were resuscitated. Whether you actually drowned or just got very close to drowning and then were brought back to life, we'll let the scientists determine. We don't have to mince out here.
I mean, I was told I was blue and I had to be revived back to life. I
By
was
both
told
Beanie.
I was a stupid, little blue Smurfy looking child.
And we've all had traumatic, but Beanie said from that moment, your entire personality changed. Was that just something for air, or is there any validity to this? She said, beforehand you were kind of.
I would know. That's a fucking crazy thing to say. I think my personality changed because I was 1 year old and my stupid brothers hadn't fucking put the gate. They didn't close the gate, and we were living in Newport Beach, California at the time. And by God, if you have a 1 year old who lives right on the goddamn harbor, and on top of that, who doesn't close the gate to the harbor, and I'm like a stupid fucking redheaded little moron drowning in the goddamn harbor like the little kid, like, just some fucking asshole.
If Beanie's right, and it did change your personality and make you talk all the time more and everything, my vote's on Wally, because you probably knew it's what it took to make you a superhero. Always pushing you to the limit.
Oh.
And on that note.
Oh. That's it?
No. We're going to let the audience talk a little bit more, or listen to a little bit more audio. And to be honest, this one's a little bit more Beanie centric. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Beanie when we come back.
Good.
And
I want to hear. I want to learn too.
Hopefully you have the answers.
Well,
it's good. It's a good life. All right.
Is it?
Thanks for coming in, Mom.
No, she's staying.
Yeah, what?
She's staying.
No, I mean, you're gonna. Thought she was going to see the sights and smells of 57th, and I'd meet
Smells.
I
her
know
and
the
Casey.
sights and smells of 57th.
Long before he was born, right?
Way
Way
long
before,
ago.
huh?
Way
Back
long
when you used to
ago.
run around with Barry Manilow.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We used to 57th Street. Well, it wasn't so different.
No, it really
I have
isn't.
to say one thing. I
Yeah.
really, if I could, I would clean those sidewalks up. There's a lot
Yeah.
of gum and stuff on the sidewalk.
Some of the gum, those old black marks you see, Fuzzy, is gum. Some of that goes back decades, and it's actually protected now.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what that was.
You didn't know that?
I don't know. I had no idea that was
That's
just
old gum.
Oh.
And that, if you chew gum and never swallow it, that's what happens to your intestines.
I
You
don't
have those
need-
dots in it.
Yeah.
But the good part of that, when it snows, it's not slippery. 'Cause you have
That
the
is
gum
true.
there.
They
Yeah.
say that. They go
Snow or
walk gum
ice,
to
it's
gum.
okay.
Yeah.
Got a lot of gum on 57th Street sidewalks.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Thanks, Ma, for coming in today.
Well, you're quite welcome,
And,
and as usual, it's
I'll
a
meet
pleasure
you.
being with all of
Oh,
you.
we love it too, and it's great. I'm just so glad that you and Casey are hitting it off, and
Yeah, so
you're
am I.
you're finally passing that baton, the torch now, of your baby, and you know,
He's the baton.
yeah, he's the
Okay.
baton.
I am very happily passing the baton
Yeah.
to Casey, and I know he's in good hands.
Oh, he sure is. Now you remember that old Boba Fett that? Well, I'm not even going to bring up that story.
Sure.
That story's no one's business, really.
Something had-
That's a private matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doll got broken.
Yeah.
You know.
Anything that you wish they would do a little differently than they do now?
Who?
Davey and Casey. Any kind of hopes and dreams that you have for them?
Well, I hope they have a nice family someday when they're ready for it, and I hope they, come down at Christmas.
I think we are going to come down at Christmas.
What about Christmas? You're coming down. What about Thanksgiving?
We're going to.
I love I love to see you down there for Halloween too.
No,
It would be
that's
great.
okay. No, that's a little
Spring
much.
Lake and Halloween.
All right, yeah,
So
no.
pretty.
You know what? This Sunday.
No, I can't do
For
that.
football.
Can't make it. Can't make it. Ron.
But we are having a nice birthday party for him. Dinner.
Weekend. Birthday weekend.
Yep.
So spend the whole weekend.
Yeah. No.
No.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, some
Friday.
pickleball.
Friday.
You know
That's
what?
good enough.
Let's do this. Let's
Right.
make it a long weekend. We'll even take off that Monday. You want to do that?
Yeah, no.
I'm in.
If you want to get in the extra day,
Work.
Early-
I like to work on Mondays.
yeah, but all the guys would get off if you spent a 4-day weekend there.
Yeah.
But it's
guys want
November. What's that date?
10th.
No, November 10th. We're going to
Yeah.
do it.
Isn't that
Because-
something else? Why is that familiar to me? November 10th.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Worst day of my life. But no, for some reason that date sticks out for me.
Yeah.
November 10th. No.
Yeah.
Doesn't to me.
Yeah.
November
Yeah.
11th is Armistice Day.
Oh, that's probably it.
what it is.
Armistice Eve.
Yeah,
Armistice Eve, I was thinking of.
What do you usually do on Armistice
We'd
Eve?
be all excited the night before. My dad's
You
like,
stay up
you
till-
better get the bed or else the armistice isn't coming tomorrow.
Korean food.
Yeah.
But you wear the silly hats and
Yeah.
and you stay up till midnight.
Well,
Hit the pots and
do you
pans.
remember the first time that you didn't grow up? You grew up in the Bronx,
Yes.
though. But what are your first memories of Manhattan? Do you remember coming into Manhattan when you
Yes,
were a little
I
kid?
do very well.
Yeah. Do you
My
remember?
first memories would
Yeah.
be in the 50s, and we used to take the subway down.
Cold.
And now it was.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, it was.
You're better than that, Fez.
It was in the 50s, and we'd take the
Cold.
subway down, and you could stay
On.
down. A bunch of girls. We'd go downtown.
Practice kissing.
And stay downtown for as long as you want.
Now, we
and come
call that
home and
something different, but back then you used to say you were going downtown with the girls.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what she would say.
Yeah,
Mr.
we call
Bennington.
munching.
Right.
But God, so what would you do?
Well,
when you
when
would
I
go
first
downtown?
remember going to, but see, I remember we went into the city a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be, in 8th grade and stuff. Well, when it became fun, I remember maybe like being about 18 and we'd go down to the village. And the village was, we found the village.
Right, you're
somehow.
fascinated. It was the beat days. It was the
Fascinating.
beatniks.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yes, it was the beat days. And, so we just would go to different places, and it was very, very interesting. And, we did that for a little bit. And then that would be like on a Friday night. Then Saturday night would be date night. And maybe you'd go whatever. I remember one of my first boyfriends. He was so adorable.
Black
and
kid?
he took me to, no, Joe Woods. And he took me
him.
he took me to 42nd Street. We went to a movie. 42nd Street was awesome then. Mm-hmm. It had
Porn?
tons.
Sailors dipping you.
No,
It's VJ Day. It's VJ Day.
no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not that old.
I know. I know you're not.
We went to there was movies, and then I
Talkies?
remember the movies, and then we went to Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh,
And you'd see like little people in a jar and.
Yeah, fetuses. They were called.
Oh no. Really, I saw this up in the Danbury Fair with my mother and father.
Right.
They had
Rambling.
twins in a jar, like a formaldehyde, I guess.
Your
but
parents
a very
did?
big glass jar, and you used to go in and look at all the
Right.
little
midgets.
stuff.
So when you went to the village, there was beatniks, there was poets,
Yeah.
there was folk music, there was jazz.
Yes.
That had to be pretty exciting. I guess marijuana was
wonderful.
new then. It was.
Oh no, nobody did that.
Nobody smoked pot
God,
back
no,
then.
that wasn't around.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure some people did, but not.
Yeah.
We drank beer and had like Ryan Ginger. Ryan
Oh.
Ginger, you know. What
Ryan
I mean?
Ginger
And
was the
then,
big thing.
I
It never
I went-
stopped yet.
No, Ryan Ginger, and then Rye Presbyterian, which was half ginger ale. I thought it was so sophisticated.
Yeah.
I went half ginger ale and half club soda. Anyway, we would have drinks like that. We would have drinks.
But
we
those
would
were fun
sing.
times.
We would sing. We would sit at the place and sing.
Do you remember any of the stuff that you would sing, or any of the songs that were popular back then?
Sing something for Mr. Bennington and
Oh,
Mr. Watley,
gosh.
please, because
Wait
you're a
a
good
minute.
singer. You always have been.
Oh, thanks, honey.
You always have been, man.
Thank you.
You've always been a great singer.
Stop it. Jeez, he's going to
Okay,
sing.
all right.
But
Struck oil.
I
Stop
can't.
drilling.
Are you talking about? Oh, well, I'll tell you what we did. So wait. a
Yeah.
minute.
Wait,
So
you didn't
then-
sing a song.
Okay, but I'll tell you now. Then I will.
Yeah.
Then in the 60s, in 1960,
Get warmer.
I went to
Say,
I went
old
to
joke.
CBS
Woodstock.
and I stayed there. Now in the mid 60s, I was over 57th over there in the production center, and then we had a whole bunch of kids in in our 20s, and we would go out, and then Barry started. He started to have like little gigs and stuff like that, so we'd go and we would.
He played with Bette Midler at the Improv, right? Is that when he?
His first person was this other person,
Mm.
but Jeannie Lucas. God, how do I remember this? And so she was the singer, and he was just a piano player. He never sang.
Right.
He was not a singer, but he was a wonderful
Arranger, yeah.
And like a lot of people would ask him, would you play for auditions on Broadway and stuff like that? So anyway, we would go down to different places, and everybody had in Irish, it's called the party piece. What you had was everybody had a song they would sing. It was the same song, and everybody would do their song. We'd go to different places and just sit around. Barry would play the piano, and everybody had a song. So here was my song. It's called.
Hold on, I just woke up. Sorry. How long was I out?
Through the mid 60s.
All right, but we're still here. The show's not over.
wait a minute.
No.
What is this?
All right, this is
This is
Dave's mom,
2007. We have a long way to
Beanie.
go.
2007. Well,
A long way to go.
they did it all in one night. They did it all in one night. It's still Christmas. All right, so Beanie's mom, Beanie's here, Dave's mom, and is going to sing a song that she used to sing back in the 60s, and then after that we'll take it into the 70s and then on into the 80s. Yeah. Casey, I hope we're not stepping on any of the lunchtime talk. All right, so let me.
Wait, is it really only a quarter?
No, we're not on the air. We wouldn't do this.
Oh, okay.
Even the satellite, you can't get along with
I'm
this being
getting tired.
entertainment.
All right, here we go. Here we
Yeah.
go. Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard the train, and then 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and tell her tootsie goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. Nobody knows how sad it makes me. Kiss me, tootsie, and then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Ho, ho, ho. Tootsie, goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry.
There it is. Of course, the 1960s music. What could
It
be
sounded
better?
a little better when Barry was playing the piano.
Oh, he would play for you while you would
Oh,
sing.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he turned gay. All right, so
I don't think so.
no, he's not. He's straight.
Yeah.
He's definitely straight.
I don't know.
It's sad he never.
No, and I don't care what he is. He's just
Yeah,
a good
he's
guy.
just fantastic.
Barry.
He's a good man.
How's his new album doing, Earl? Did you ever look it up?
I'm doing very strong.
Why don't you give me numbers instead of just trying to guess and lie to me?
I'm not lying to you. All of them have hit number 1, and this one I think hit number 4. But I'll get exact numbers.
Good, thank you. So there he is, still having hit albums after all these years. Your old friend Barry.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when he made his first record,
Is that right?
He said, we were in the car or something, we were going someplace, and he said, "Oh, I made a record." And I said, "You made a record?" And he said, "Yeah, you should see how good it sounds when you're in like a sound studio and you have all these different, I don't know,
Sound things.
Sound things, yeah, right.
Equipment.
Professional
equipment.
singers.
He said, "It sounds really good."
Was that from the 60s?
No, it wasn't.
This,
You know
what's weird? The whole time you were saying that, I can't believe. I'm like, how dull is this knife that it won't go through my artery? How dull could that be?
It's an Al
thanks for coming
Jolson
in.
song.
Oh.
Was it Al Jolson's? It was
Yeah, it
in
was
the
Al
20s.
Jolson.
I don't know why
Yeah.
I sang that song. But
Yeah, I don't either.
That was my.
This
that
didn't
was
make
my song.
sense. But it was wonderful. So Barry comes out. He says,
I made this little record, but it was
made
a
record.
demo. It was a demo.
Yeah, it was a demo.
So
And
I
that
said, well,
turned out
that's
to
nice.
be, I can't smile without you.
No, because that was years later. Then he
Yeah,
went with
I know.
Bette
Years
Midler,
later.
and then he went.
Yeah, we'll get to the 80s. Don't worry. We got plenty of time.
Thanks for coming in.
Then there was something new. It was called MTV. Now, we didn't understand it at the time. You have to remember this was the 80s.
Do you know Video Killed
Manual television.
The Buggles come on.
What?
And our jaws hit the ground.
Would you know Come On Eileen? By any
Oh,
chance?
don't talk
Come
dirty.
on,
That's your
Eileen.
mother.
No, I never
Seriously.
heard of that.
Come on, Eileen.
Ooh, Dave, you have a nice voice.
I know.
Hey,
Thank you, Mother.
You know what?
Family.
Thank you. We
Seriously,
have nice
because
voices.
and I think it's wonderful that you love him, but he's never going to learn if you tell him everything he does is great. He'll go out and try it in the real world.
We love to sing that birthday song
Yeah.
that we learned.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday to you.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, it's a good one. They sing
Can we
it
sing
before.
Should I sing it to David?
Yeah.
Well, no, we can both sing it to
Okay,
Fez.
great.
No.
Oh,
One-
is today's the Fez birthday?
Yeah, today's Fez's birthday.
Today's Fez's birthday.
Yeah, and
Today's Fez's
he's our Barry Manilow. We
Yeah,
don't think he's
one-
gay either.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday just for you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candle, there remains a glow. It's the sunshine of your smile wherever you go. Thank you.
And Dave, that's what you did instead of moving out and starting your life? Just you and your mom sat around singing like Eddie Arnold?
Actually, I used to go down.
That's the Irish
insane.
tenor type of singing.
You know what? I know that sounds great when you're drunk, but we're all sober here today. That's what the Irish don't understand. They all think they're great singers and fighters, but they're so drunk they don't remember
wait a
what
minute,
really
I
happened.
just remembered my cousin Billy Dodd's coming from Ireland next Monday.
Oh,
A week
God, you have to
Monday.
bring them by.
More stories.
I think we got
No, we have to.
And we had nothing to eat over there. Nothing but a potato for the entire village. You know what I tell these stories? I get a little thirsty. If you could just give me another drink there, thank you. Oh, the Irish, they think that they're great storytellers. They're just loaded.
He used to cut peat. He showed me where the peat came from.
Yeah, they make houses out of it. It's
No,
shit.
but it was for heat.
And they're making houses out of it.
It was for heat. It did smell a little funny.
Pete for heat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that birthday song. That was nice.
Fezzy,
I'm sorry, that's the cake I got. But
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was his birthday.
icing.
Not to interrupt here, but, well, a pound cake doesn't come with icing.
Oh.
And I loved it, too, because it takes away all that extra moisture I have in my mouth. All right, Earl, we need to get Mr. Perfect's pick. Fezzy, has never not come through for us.
So we'll see what he has today.
Here comes Mr. Perfect, college football picks.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Perfect with another solid,
Mr. Perfect, our junior producer.
another winner for this weekend. I am going to take the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They are 6.5-point favorites over Mississippi. I am going to pick the Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide, Fezzy, Alabama. You know, now I notice he's turned to the favorites.
Yeah, he's taking a favorite here on the road at Mississippi.
That's his way.
Yeah, I don't care for going into Mississippi giving up points.
Ole Miss. Now, does Ole Miss still have Archie Manning playing for him, or did he finally graduate?
He finally got his degree.
It's another person my mom dated.
Archie Manning? That would be fantastic. I would have fainted.
Bunker.
I literally would have fainted if that was true. Hey, I know you're a big Yankees fan, Beanie, and this is going to be another really disappointing year for you.
Yeah.
But Mike Lupica, your favorite writing,
I love him.
attacks the captain, Derek Jeter. Says he's one of the worst shortstops in baseball, and he's the guy letting the Yankees down.
He had a rough series, but he's not the worst shortstop in baseball.
I went a little far, but he came up with 8 names that he thought were better shortstops and better players right now.
I say BS. First of all,
I
Jeter's
say,
320, got 4 rings, World Series MVP, All-Star Game MVP.
What is it time for Joe Torre to go?
I hate to say this, but I was just talking to my friend on the phone, Marita, and
How's she
we
doing?
talked. She's doing
She
good,
doing okay?
but she's a big Yankee fan, and I was saying, what's your
Don't
feeling?
go away if you're laughing.
She said
Stay.
she said just what I thought. I think he should resign. I hate to see him fired.
Yeah, I agree with Mother.
Yeah,
As
you always have. As you always have.
Boy, Dave.
I don't dislike Joe Torre.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But it's time for him to step down. It's time for a man named Donald Arthur Mattingly, born in Evansville, Indiana.
Why him?
I don't
Damn.
think-
Why him?
Dave,
Because
I don't go down.
It would be the perfect transition. I don't want Tony La Russa, Ma, and I'm
I
not
don't
coming
want
home
Tony,
for
but
Christmas
what about
if
Joe
you want
Girardi?
him.
What's wrong with Girardi?
I don't want Joe Girardi.
No, Daddy doesn't either. But
This is why I don't
You know
have
what?
dinner at
I'm
their
going to tell you
house.
what. You're all making the wrong mistake. You got the best manager in baseball, but he's standing there at third base, Larry Boa.
Mr. Boa.
yes,
Put Larry Boa
I agree.
in
You know
there,
what?
and I tell
I
you,
think I said that a few months ago.
He will
I agree with that.
jerk a knot into those players.
I wouldn't be against Boa.
And 2 years
I
later, you're going to have to
wouldn't
get.
be either.
And it's going to be like, it would be like Billy Martin came back to the Bronx. You would love him. He's so scrappy.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be against it. I want
I
either
agree
Boa
with
or
that.
Mattingly.
I agree with that.
Happy birthday, happy birthday just for you.
But I want to say one thing. I don't know if
Oh, we were
David
just
knows
Want
this.
another shot, Mom? Yeah, let's do another shot.
Just a little one.
Yeah,
just a little teeny one.
Yeah, it takes the cold night air off us.
Or as we say in Ireland, just a little smile.
Yeah,
Just a little tiny smile.
Just a little smile.
Putting personalities
Yeah.
on your problem.
And you would have rather done that than date, huh, Dave? That was better to stay home and do that than go out.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
but for the first time, 16 years we had season tickets, Sunday plan. Not
Yeah.
the whole season ticket, just the Sunday plan. We're not going to do it next year.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm going to spit my water out. No.
Yes.
No.
why don't
Yes.
you take him over,
No.
Dave?
Yes.
Take over
I
the
only
Sunday
have,
plan.
I don't exactly have $2,000.
That's the point.
Yeah.
See, David said, "Oh no, Ma, you can't, and we're going to go to the new stadium." I said, "You know what? Nobody goes. Patrick's
Right.
in L.A. Wally won't go from Pennsylvania.
Pepper Hicks went. Johnny went to games.
They're not her
Yeah,
sons.
but you
Yeah.
didn't go,
What?
and nor
Pepper
did
and Johnny.
Mark's in Virginia. So who's going to go?" And Daddy and I are getting
K-Rob next year.
K-Rob.
The interns might get
Well, anyway, we're
tickets.
not
What's
gonna
wrong
get
with
it.
that?
Yeah.
I really hope you reconsider that. I don't like to pay for the tickets, but I like to go to the games. And so that would be nice if you guys still got the season tickets.
Okay.
Yes.
No, you don't have to do that,
No.
Bean.
Please.
No.
No offense, but okay, but no.
Yeah, you're cutting into the record budget.
You know what I mean? Right,
Yeah.
Fuzzy?
It's a shame.
Right, Fuzzy?
Okay,
Exactly.
Okay,
Huh?
but
I
You back
agree
up,
with you.
Fuzzy?
Yeah.
okay, but no.
Oh, man.
I agree.
How you
That's
doing?
a shame.
Fuzzy?
I am spinning.
What's bothering you, big man?
Dizziness.
Yeah.
Dizziness. Withdrawal. I'm coming off of a drug.
Oh,
Heroin. It's so difficult.
what type of drug?
Morphine.
Yeah. An antidepressant.
Oh gosh, why would you come off an antidepressant?
Yeah, wouldn't that be so good to stay on it?
They were depressing me.
No, because I have some friends who were
What are
on
their
it and
names?
they've worked wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Didn't work for me, Beanie.
Well, you have to get to a different drug.
Yeah.
You have to keep
That's what-
trying
that's
until
what
you
they
Keep trying
say.
drugs. That's the
Yeah.
best thing to hear from your mom. Keep trying drugs.
But they're wonderful, really.
Yeah.
And really,
Drugs are
nobody
great.
should suffer like that.
Yeah, drugs
No,
are
Thank
I'm
wonderful.
very
you.
serious. I'm
Thank
very
you.
serious about that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, absolutely.
Especially on his birthday, Ma.
You're a
Speak-
good
Do I hear
man.
tiny
You're
steps?
A good man. and
Oh, it's
that's a-
K-Rob. So, it was wonderful to have you
Oh,
here,
it
and
was
I'd
great
like
to
to
be here.
start
Thank
doing
you
this
so much.
more. I really would.
Okay.
I'd love to have you come in more.
Okay. Well, we'll
And
consider
thanks
it.
so much for the cake.
You're quite welcome.
You know, a lot of times it's appropriate to bring a beverage or even the ice cream.
Like at
something.
school, like when I did,
Yeah.
when I was teaching. I brought the soda and the napkins and the cake. Sorry about that.
No. It was wonderful. We really enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, what happened
I
to
love
the hand?
antiques.
I had elective surgery, so. It's getting better and better. I can't play golf for 4 more months. That's why I'm here.
No offense. No
offense.
Hey, once you're able to play golf again, we won't see you. You love to be out there,
That's
huh?
about right.
Yeah.
She loves the links.
Yeah.
Sausages?
No, golf course.
Oh, because I was going to say I'm starving. Be a nice thing to bring sausages next time.
Daddy,
She was thinking about giving you a pot
Happy
roast.
birthday, happy birthday just for you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, there remains a glow. It's the sunshine of your smile wherever you go. You know, the only problem with that is I get nervous when you guys end with that kiss.
That's how it ends.
Seriously, you should have a Mountie.
That's how the
You
song
should have a Mountie suit on for that.
Tradition. It's a tradition. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Not a snowboard. And that's not a term I'll take from any man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you sound good.
Oh, yeah, isn't it?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah,
it wonderful?
You sort of look like it.
Well, easy.
We're gonna be in a little bit.
Easy. Let's all be careful here. Fuzzy, anything else?
We are back. Now, anybody who has tuned into the first episode of Modern Day Man Show may have heard the accusation that you didn't earn your way into entertainment. You're a Nepo baby. Because your mom worked with Barry Manilow, who gave you your name and endorsed your path to entertainment.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. And not only that, but my mom says I am named because of Barry. I can't, obviously my name's not Barry, so I can't be named after Barry. But what she says is she remembers one of the many, many times. Yes, my mom and Barry Manilow worked at CBS News in the early 60s, like we're talking like maybe 1960 to 1965, something like that. And so they were friends. And my mom and then Barry Manilow used to go out for lunch every day. And they're sitting there having lunch. And my mom said they were talking about baby names. So my mom said, I like the name Walter for my father, her dad, my grandfather.
Wally.
And I think she said she liked the name Mark, actually. And so there's the Mark. And then Patrick, the oldest brother, is named after my dad.
Makes sense.
And so Barry was the one during one of these lunches who said, I always loved the name David. I always thought the name David is a very, very beautiful name, very special name. And so when it came for child number 4 for Beanie Mac, she ran out of all her names and she remembered Barry. She remembered what Barry Manilow said. And she's like, you know what? I think Barry's right. I'm going with what Barry Manilow said. I'm going to name this little fucking redheaded asshole David. So there you go. I really am practically named after Barry Manilow or named because of Barry Manilow.
I would say named by Barry.
Named by Barry Manilow.
Thank God
That's a true claim to fame right there that most motherfuckers just don't got. Because guess what? I don't think Barry Manilow's got any kids. You know why? Hello! I'm just wild about Harry, and Harry's just wild about me.
All I can say is thank God you were a boy, because East Side Mandy doesn't have the same ring to it as East Side Dave. Although you do come and you do give without taking. Anyway, in addition to that, we learned that your mom didn't just go to lunch with Barry Manilow. She would often go to like cocktail parties on the rooftops and things like that.
Friends.
But this is an interesting story I really wanted to ask specifically about. I guess Barry would write like little songs for everybody to sing throughout the evening. And your mom recounts one. Like, was your mom just hanging out at cocktail parties while Barry Manilow was piano manning it up? Like,
yes.
Was that really like how cool of a history did she ever share those stories?
Had always the job at CBS News, as my mom explains it to me. She doesn't romanticize it. She says, me and Barry were gophers. We literally were, it was our job to get Walter Cronkite his fucking coffee. his fucking lunch, just stupid shit. Like that's what we were doing. But I mean, think about it. They were there for like the Kennedy assassination with Cronkite, on television and stuff. That's my mom and Barry Manilow, getting fucking shit for Cronkite during that whole broadcast.
That's incredible.
I mean, it is. It is amazing. But she told me, yes, that Barry, from day one, knew he was going to be a singer. So sometimes they would find, I mean, obviously this is pre-karaoke, but they would find some sort of open mic kind of thing. Like, open mic night where there is a piano player, like a house piano player. And then, you give him a song or something and you do it. Yes. It kind of like karaoke, really.
She said that's how it started. But by the end, it was having like his own Barry Manilow cocktail parties. Where, like all the people he worked with were, dude, that's so cool. And there's not really a question there. I just wanted to get that out of you because that's one of the coolest stories I've ever heard about Barry.
Very shortly after CBS News, Barry Manilow became a star.
She even said in the car one day, he like out of the blue was like, "Oh, did I tell you I recorded an album?" It's crazy how different you sound when you're in a studio versus like in a bar. Like she was there as it was happening for him.
Yeah. He was at my parents' wedding. I believe he sang a song.
Dude.
In fact,
what are we fucking doing?
I sing the songs. I write the songs. Although, I mean, honestly, Copacabana is my favorite, though. And I know that's cliche, but at the Copacabana, music and dancing. Oh, man.
That's always the fashion at the Copa.
That's a good tune, Bear.
I mean, I'll be honest. I kind of tipped my hand earlier. Mine was Man.
Okay, yeah, no, it's Man.
You came and you gave without taking, but I sent you.
And then he did the other, but the Lola. Oh, wait, that is Copacabana.
It's Copacabana.
I know it's a different song. Wait. Oh,
we ran through that list.
I gotta
quickly,
do search, hurry up and search Barry Manilow now. Barry Manilow's biggest hits. I'm feeling like we're leaving one out. Barry Manilow's, greatest fucking songs, asshole. Copacabana, Mandy. Never Rains in Southern California.
I can't smile without.
Oh yeah, I write the songs.
I can't.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Without.
All right, so I think I was thinking of I write the songs.
Right. And I can't.
All right, go ahead.
No, I can't smile without you. Was the other one we were
what
missing.
I was thinking of. I know.
You said that.
So it was just me being stupid. It's the three quintessential Barry Manilow songs are definitely Mandy, I Write the Songs, and Copacabana. Those are the three biggies.
I might even throw in Can't Smile Without You before Mandy, to be honest.
Sing that.
That one was pretty big too. I'm a big what? I can't smile without you.
Without you. Wait, that's a Barry Manilow song?
You. I can't laugh. Yeah, and I can't sing. My dad was a little
I didn't
too
know
into
that
Barry
song
Manilow.
was his. Okay, very good.
Yeah. Mike, I do think we do have a golden opportunity here. Remember when Lady Gaga took that old dude nobody remembered anymore?
Burt
Did all
Bacharach?
the songs with him.
Oh, Tony Bennett.
How maybe something like
you.
that. Dude, Eastside Dave on the drums. No. Eastside Dave on supporting vocals. Sean O on the drums. Rock and Roy on the keyboards. And when you bring Barry out and you revitalize his career with a punkish, almost ska.
First of all, I would be down with playing music with Barry Manilow in 1 second. But actually, I think Barry Manilow is doing quite well. Remember, if my mom's like 84, then Barry's like 84. I'm not sure that Barry's wanting to be out there on a world tour and shit, you know?
I mean, why wouldn't he? That's what everybody, one last rodeo, right? That's what the cowboy wants. You want to die on the field. But so then you and your mom sing the birthday song you guys always sing together, which is not the traditional birthday song for Fez. And I do think it's a beautiful moment, even though your mom has a couple of shots in her at this point. But like you could truly see where you get the ability to the fearlessness just to perform from her, and you guys have a great moment. She does call shots happiness. She says, let me get a little happiness. Do you feel like that perhaps negatively influenced your relationship with alcohol growing up? And we'll get out of
Who,
here on
me?
this question. Yeah. That your mom just referred to shots as
No,
little
she's
shots of
not.
happiness.
She's
like really breaking the
Oh,
Irish
God,
stereotypes
no.
there, Bean.
I mean, she does like beer and shots every once in a while and little mixed drink and stuff like that. Maybe some wine. She's okay. I just named all of the alcoholic food groups.
Yeah. Yeah, she occasionally will do tequila.
What I'm saying is
and-
a little. She likes she is she's
Yeah.
not some fucking heavy boozer. She like my grandmother, she's very similar to my grandmother. My grandmother at like Thanksgiving would always have like two little scotch and sodas or one of those old fashions, right? I think my grandmother, she liked that.
Yeah.
And then she would always do this. My grandmother, like when she got into her 90s, she would still have her two old fashions at Thanksgiving, but then by midway through the second one, she'd just be like laughing, and then she would tell people, she's like, I don't know what it is. It's just so fun. Whenever I drink this, I just have so much fun. It's like she forgot like the
That's
effects of alcohol, or at least forgot that we all know the effects of alcohol on someone. She was telling us the byproduct of booze. But with Beanie Mac, it's a couple, like she'll have a little celebration, but then she's done. She's good for the night.
My grandpa used to like wine, so they would cut him off at one glass, and he knew at every holiday if he went, Bob, top me off. I would, and my aunt would give me a look, and I'd just be like, if I'm 88 and I want another glass of wine and someone tries to stop me, you better hope I don't have a gun. Because like I've lived life at that point. If I want to go out because of 2 glasses of Merlot, I've earned that.
I agree with that.
Respect your elders. And on that note, I respect the shit out of you, Dave. So why don't you tell the people what projects you got going on?
Well, I think I did, but I will again. Modern Day Man is the new show. Myself, Aaron Berg, Robert Tamburo producing it. We're doing a fantastic show, 3 episodes. Make sure you're subscribing and thumbs upping, subscribing, anywhere. iTunes, you give it 5 stars, and please leave a written critique of this is a hell of a show or awesome show, because that's when your 5 stars stick, is what I've been told. You got to hit the 5-star button, but then you got to leave an actual, this is amazing, ! And then you're good to go. Davey Mac Sports Program taking off this Sunday, Father's Day. We will, and Monday, because we all got to do shit. We will be back on this is the 15th. We'll be back on the 22nd. And that's it. Just make sure you're following everything. All the Modern Day Man stuff, all the Eastside Dave stuff. You can find links to everywhere on my social media, which is Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Eastside Dave.
Follow me at Bobby_Tamburo across the board. June 19th, I'll be in Lafayette, Louisiana. June 20th, I'll be in Mater, Louisiana. And June 21st, I'll be in Mobile, Alabama, opening for Ehrenberg. So if you want to see that, get your tickets at Ehrenberg. On that note, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been another fun episode. Good night, radio fans.